What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Whitmer here, and welcome into MVP Sports. I am joined with Dave Oster. Dave, how we doing?
Oh, we're doing great.
You ready for a mock? You ready for a mock, Dave? You all mocked up?
I'm thrilled to be talking mocks. I've been listening to mocks for the last 8 hours today.
Instead of being bricked up, Dave mocked up. He's
mocked
up right now.
This is a mock of our fans, which is even better.
I got to say this. This is a tradition here at MVP.
Yep.
We always do the Discord mock. You and I had, I'm going to say forgot about it. I'm going to be blunt here. Forgot about it. But one of our loyal Discord members, you may know him as Oscar. Some may know him as that retired Jay, was like, yo, we're going to do the Discord mock. And I'm like, you know what? You guys want to do it again? We'll do it again because it's a staple. But Dave, before we start, I have a special announcement. I have a surprise for you.
Okay.
Dave, I would like you to go to our Twitch page for me. So go to our Twitch page. Go to Twitch, type in MVP vids, all one word. There. Go to our Twitch page. Tell me what you see on our Twitch page.
That we're live. I see that
Dave,
we're live. Dave,
we are now live both on YouTube and Twitch. Dual streams from here on out.
I did not know that was a thing.
I learned about it this week through Streamlabs. Did we have to pay for it? Absolutely, we had to pay for it. But you think I wasn't going to do that so that we could be now all future streams, MVP Entertainment, MVP Sports, will be on the Twitch page, will be on the YouTube page respectively, because there's split YouTube pages. But yeah, we now are going to be live on both for every. So the NBA draft, when we're live Wednesday, Thursday. Twitch, YouTube, either one, we're live.
Oh, that's gonna be good. That's perfect.
Dave's like, I don't know how to react right now.
I'm still just in I was trying to think back to the last time that we used Twitch, and it was so long ago.
Dave, I've got plans.
It's a pleasant surprise.
I've got plans. I was looking at the features we could stream on top of all this. We could stream the Try stream, put Facebook in there. We could treat 4 outsources, get us on X as well.
Put us on TikTok.
Well, the thing with TikTok, it's a different. It's the like vertical.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
So they would see like the middle of this. They'd see like half of you, half of me. But yeah, we're live on Twitch. We are live on. I almost said TikTok. We're not live on TikTok. We're live we're live on Twitch. So if you're new to this is how it works. We had some loyal members of the Discord, people who wanted to get in on this. We had about 5 of them. They randomly got 6 teams each. Well, not even teams. This time we did 6 picks each. So there's an example of I'll say one example. J-Dub, who will be one of the people you'll see today, he had the Spurs at 4. But then Sean had the Spurs later on at 8. So it's a little different than what we've done before. Before we've done teams, and you're making the pick for that team, but some teams have more picks than others. This time, everyone had 6 picks. Everyone got 6 picks in the draft. We're going to bring them in 1v1. Dave, you're going to be, we kind of got a tiered system. Jake is helping us out in the green room. Dave's going to be messaging people to have Jake bring them in. We're going to talk about their pick. And then, it should be a great time. So, Dave, I'll let you message Jake. We're going to bring in Oscar for his Atlanta Hawks.
All right.
The hot Atlanta Hawks.
Can't wait, because this one's personal. Welcome.
Hello. How we doing today, sir?
Oh, pretty good.
So, I got to ask you, how special does it feel to be making not just the first pick in this draft, but the first pick with your Atlanta Hawks?
I'd say it's more bittersweet because I know they're not going to do what I would do, and it's getting scary to the point where they might do something that I really don't want them to do.
What's the don't want them to do?
Donovan Clingan at 1.
I like Donovan Clingan.
I think that's it's going to be worse than Buffkin at 15, and I don't know if you guys remember Buffkin at 15.
I forget, Dave. Did you like or hate that?
I really like Kobe Buffkin, but apparently saying that, he had a disappointing rookie year in all 12 minutes in the NBA he got to play is sacrilege, and I should be burned at the stake for it by Atlanta.
That's not even the issue. Are you taking Bufkin over Cam Whitmore at 15 right now?
No.
Did I say that Cam Whitmore was the right pick back in last year? Yes.
Soapy is
It was pretty
punching.
obvious.
Soapy's punching air right now.
Yep. I mean, you make valid point. There's a lot of guys who went after him who are doing great and playing NBA minutes and look really good. So it's a wait and see. Yeah.
Who you taking at number 1 and why?
It's got to be Alex R out of the NBL. We don't know what's going to happen, like how it's going to look. We haven't seen what they're going to do in terms of moving Murray.
Yeah.
So I don't really buy going the safe, quote unquote, safe pick with Klingon since we don't know what the team's going to look like after going into the year. Like, we don't know if they're going to be good or not.
Yep.
And I'd much rather be building around Jalen Johnson and Sar.
Yep.
Than building around Jalen Johnson and Donovan Klingon. So most of it's just it's the smarter upside play. Sar still gives you another rim protector, another look, because Onyeka really, his foul trouble issues, you can't really rely on him to be your starting center. You need another high quality backup behind him. Sar eventually can take his place. So if you're looking at both the short term and the long term, it just makes sense to go for Sar over a Klingon or a Rishache, which I'm not against Rishache, but
I do have one question. I hate that you do that to me every time. I do have one question because I need to know going forward. Do you think that you could see a lineup with like Jalen at the 3, Sar at the 4, and Okongwu at the 5 out there on the court at the same time? Because that kind of is the like
the rebounding is so. Just quickly, the rebounding and is Jalen good enough of a shooter?
Okay. I mean, that's the idea of it to me was like, hey, I totally respect it because I think Sar has a lot to grow on his shot, but the tantalizing like potential is there for him to be on the floor maybe at the same time as someone like Onyeka. So having that like huge size advantage.
I definitely would want to see looks of it, but I don't think long term.
Right.
Long term, it doesn't make sense to me. It seems like the most advantageous thing would be to have Sar at the 5 and Johnson at the 4, and then who knows what happens with Murray and or the Kings pick we have next year.
Got it. No, I appreciate it. Love the pick.
Yeah, it's a great pick. It's what I would do. But thank you, and we'll definitely be seeing you 5 more times.
All right. See you next time.
All right, Dave. I gotta say before we bring in the next one, this is exactly what I would do. It's exactly what, the exact pick I would do is Alex Sar.
Was this not what I did also?
Oh, I'm not saying it's not, but like this is the pick I would make if I was the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah, the Klingon stuff is interesting. I mean, I
like Klingon, so I wouldn't hate it personally.
He had impressive workouts. It seems pretty positive, and again, his impact is not just swatting the rim; it's also him affecting everyone on the court. The percentages of opponents shooting like falls off a cliff when he's on the court, especially in the paint. So like great rim protector upside there, but Sar's just he gives you that something extra, and because of his athleticism, he's a big who moves like a wing, and that's special. And like, yes, will he get bodied by traditional bigs to start his career? Probably, but guess what? He's still 7 feet tall, and he can defend out on the wing. He can defend pick and rolls. He switches like crazy.
Dave, you didn't say it right. He's 7 feet tall.
And you can't teach that. Man, it's been so long since I heard this class. It's sad. It's sad.
Teach that.
I don't have the enthusiasm for it, man. Little Enzo's gone.
Little Enzo and Big Cass. Well, Cass is still around.
I don't know where he's
in AEW, I think.
Jesus. How the... Never mind.
But yeah, no, I think perfect pick. Perfect pick. Yeah. Right? Could you say perfect pick in this draft?
I think as far as the Hawks are concerned at 1, I think this is as good as you're going to get out of this class. Like from what we see, I think that he's a 1A pick in this class. I don't know if anyone has anyone truly over him. So yeah, I think this feels like taking the BPA. You're number 1, you got the clear board, and you're taking highest upside. Yeah, can't argue.
Well, coming up next, we got the Wizards, and we're going to have Sean coming in for this one. Not Sean Anderson, but good nonetheless. Sean, how are we doing today?
Yeah. I'm all right.
You got a weird task here with the Wizards with Alex Sar being off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah, Wizards need everything except forwards really. Denny and Kuzma are fine.
Mm-hmm.
They need everything else.
Who are you taking?
With the second pick, the Wizards are going to take Donovan Clingan.
Clingan. What? So take me through the rationale, because I love this pick. Like, this is what I would do if I was the Wizards GM.
See, I was looking like there's BPA with Ricochet, but
Fair.
their worst position by far is center, and they need defense. Second worst defense in the league last year.
Yeah.
Still will probably be one of the worst because you have Kuzma, who's
And
next to
Jordan
him, who
Poole.
isn't great. Jordan Poole is one of the worst perimeter defenders in the league.
Yep.
Denny's not a great defender
No,
either.
Denny's a fantastic defender.
Is
he?
He's fine.
Yeah. He genuinely is. I'm not like no like Dave Hype. He's actually legitimately a fantastic defender.
Dave Hype is a thing.
Yeah. Like Bilal Koulibaly is very good. Denny's on the same level. Like they got two great young-ish wings with those two. I feel like Kuz is going to be on the move for the highest bidder soon. But you're right, center they just gaping hole and Clingan. If you're going to play drop coverage because Jordan Poole is going to let everyone walk past you at the 1 or the 2, then having Clingan behind you is the best thing you can do.
Yeah, it's perimeter defender, not great, but in the paint, it's going to be one of the best centers in the league for the next few years.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
I like it.
Looks good for the Wizards.
Love it, and the same thing I told Richard J. We'll see you 5 more times in this draft before it's over. Thank you, Sean. Yeah,
I think
another pick that I love, Dave. Is this weird? Is this weird for? I feel like Discord mocks were criticizing early on.
I feel
and in this draft class, I was expecting to be critical very early, and I'm not.
Look, Clingan's good, top 3 good maybe for some teams, but like the Wizards truly were playing without a center for a portion of the year. Like I do understand this. There are only a couple of guys who are also seen in that like top tier.
Couple guys.
Whether it's a Reed Shepherd or a Zachary Ricochet, who are also like that. That feels like the top 4 is very much kind of cut off from the rest of this class right now. So cool to see Clingan go to another team here. I know the Hawks often mocked Clingan, whether it's at 1 or trading back with him as the ultimate goal. So to see him 2 here to the Wizards, I like it. I really like the defensive identity with Blau there growing with Clingan. Like that is just a lot of wingspan coming at you too. Yeah, this is gonna be a much more fun team next year for sure.
Coming up, we got your Rockets, and I believe it's Sam.
There's only one right pick here. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam's making the next pick here for the
I should probably message
Houston Rockets.
3.
Dave, there's only one right pick here. I think
it's up and me saying like pick 1 Oscar and then pick 2 no name, and now it's just the number 3.
Also, before we get into this pick, Sam, I do got to throw out Jimmy the Drunk out there saying I love the NBA nerdiness, right up my alley. What a little cheers emoji.
Shout out. Thank you.
Sam, how we doing today?
Good.
So, Rockets number 3. What are you thinking here?
The Houston Rockets are picking Reed Shepherd.
Was this the pick, Dave?
Great job, Sam. We love that pick here in Houston. As a fanboy of Houston.
Why are you going with Reed Shepherd, Sam?
Well, to be honest, I really was not a fan of this class in general, but I just basically went relative team need / BPA. So
no, that's fair. They needed a backup point guard. They were giving a lot of minutes to different guys throughout the year. And with Clingan off the board, thankfully we didn't have to deal with the whole is Shengun gonna get replaced garbage narrative that I hate out there.
Sar and Clingan went 1-2, okay?
Yeah,
it's kind of hard.
A dream for me.
It's kind of hard.
But yeah, I think Reed is exactly what they need. They need shooting. They need someone who is a hustle player on defense, and eventually he could be that backup to Fred VanVleet. Could eventually take over for Fred VanVleet in the future, or play alongside Amen Thompson as he continues to grow. And is he a guard? Is he a wing? Is he a dunker spot guy who you just forget about and then he's just incredible in transition? Who knows? But Sam, I love Reed Shepherd for a class that as you said, you don't love a lot of these guys. I feel like Reed's someone you can't ignore because his shooting percentages are just astronomical. Thank
What?
you.
Okay,
Yeah.
I thought Sam was
I
going to
wasn't
say
sure.
something.
Sam, I wasn't sure if you had anything else for us.
No, I'm just glad I made you happy.
I am very happy with that pick, Sam. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Sam. We'll see you again later in the draft.
Perfecto.
Yeah, and Dave, the one thing I do have to say, my boy RW, what about W? He's been watching all of our stuff, especially Bull stuff, for the longest time. Says we aren't even at the. He says we aren't even at the Bulls pick yet, and I can tell you already, the fans don't like it.
I have heard more.
Caruso.
I've heard more like optional picks for us than any other team. Like the variety of picks has been from like Zach Edey to like, you know, Cody Williams to Tijon Saloon to Devin Carter to everybody else in the sun. I've heard us mocked with at least 15 different players who could go in that range. I'm terrified as a Bulls fan already. So yeah, the fact that we have to wait and see, especially this is kind of like a super chaotic mock with our Discord.
Yep.
I'm very excited to see what we end up with personally at the Bulls pick at 11.
Dave, I can't wait for the. I can't wait for this next one though, because it's our boy J-Dub picking for the Spurs at 4, and I'm just gonna say I think some people might disagree with this one with J-Dub here.
Let's find out.
J-Dub, how we doing today? Oh,
not great.
Not great. I know J-Dub. So for those of you out there, J-Dub had been having some microphone issues. We're gonna see if they're fixed. J-Dub, how we doing? You hear us?
I hear you clearly.
Yes.
What's up, Ricky?
We got you. We got you too. Spurs at 4. I was saying this is going to be an interesting one. Who you taking at number 4 for the Spurs?
Well, you know, had surgery, under a lot of pain medication.
Oh no.
May not be a conventional pick this year. Spurs definitely need a point guard. You know, I think that the pick and roll with Wemby is going to be a winner. It's a tandem pick because Spurs pick again. Right here, the Spurs should go with Rob Dillingham, guard out
of Kentucky. And I got one question, and this is the main question on people's minds, J-Dub. Why not Ricochet?
I'm a big Julian Champagne fan here.
You don't want to see Julian get replaced?
It's a little biased, but I think that as far as I think Ricochet, my big board is higher up, no question.
Mm-hmm.
I think that wings are a little easier to come by than guards right now.
In this class, I don't disagree. There's some wings up there that are very valuable, and there's some fit kind of guys later in the draft.
Right, and it's not a strong selection. I'm like 60-40. I'm going with Dillingham.
But Dillingham as the top guard option for them is just oof. I can't tell you how uncomfortable that makes me as someone who just I don't know. Maybe it's
no. They're selecting at 4. They're not making him be a 36-minute player.
Yep.
Drafting, and you roll the ball out, and then you decide who plays how many minutes. Dillingham, no, I'm giving it to you. He's not a 36-minute guard. It's you all day long. But as a 20-minute guard, I don't think I'm going to have too many players as effective.
You know what? That's fair. He is really good ball in his hands. He attacks well. He's a 3-level scorer out there for Kentucky, so I could see him do the same thing in the NBA because, I mean, he's just lightning quick. And I guess technically, if you're going to be bad defensively, having Wemby behind you is a pretty good consolation, you know?
A couple things you can't teach in the NBA. You can't teach height. Wemby has you covered there. You can't teach quick quickness. I think there were 2 advantages that Pop could take advantage of. Have assets. If it were their only pick, I might go in a different direction.
That's really smart. Well
you
said.
you do have the Spurs have another pick later, and we're actually going to see you sooner than not, because we're going to the Pistons, and then you'll be right back with the Hornets.
See you soon.
See you soon, J-Dub.
Thank you.
So, Dave, before I ask you some more about this, I do want to Shaggy in the comments saying I missed the beginning. Who went 1, 2, and 3? Quick little recap. Sar went number 1 to the Hawks. Klingon number 2 to the Wizards. Reed Shepherd to the Rockets, and now Rob Dillingham to the Spurs here. And look at it right there, Jimmy the Drunk helping us out here, saying in chat, Sar, Klingon, and Shepherd. This is one, Dave, that I have a feeling that we're gonna be on Worcestershire sauce watch every single pick now. No.
I mean, you'd think five because the Pistons and Zachary Sachet, it feels like a perfect fit. It's like a zipper, man. It just lines up way too well. But I'm still kind of mind fucked by Dillingham here because
you don't like Dillingham. You're not the biggest Dillingham. You don't hate him, but you're not the biggest Dillingham fan.
Correct. You, as Jake called out before we started the show, I like defense.
Yep.
I like guys who try on defense. I think that what we got to watch at Kentucky with Reed and Dillingham backcourts was a lot of Reed trying to read the floor and cut off lanes, knowing where the ball is going to end up at, and a lot of Rob Dillingham getting beat, unfortunately, because he weighs about $150 soaking wet, and he's not that tall, but he is electric with the ball in his hands. And again, that super thin frame, he carves up teams. He can get to the hoop. He attacks. He shoots so well. And it's like, if you wanted to ask me, like, who's the guy who's going to score them? Like, if you're like, hey, who's the 20-point scorer in this class? It's Rob Dillingham. Like, that's the guy I would put my money on being the 20-point scorer in this class. So, and again, like J-Dub laid out, like, this is pick 1 for them. So they're going to get a second guy. So you can go for that electric score. You can go for someone who can run an offense pretty well. I think he, for someone who split time with 4 other guards in college, probably could run a decent offense. And again, working with that 2-man game with Wemby would be just, chef's kiss. So helps make up for a lot of the shortcomings in his game by just having a giant behind you who can cover ground and just swat everything. So no, I think that I can understand. I'm okay with the pick. I've got no qualms with it. It's not who I would have chosen, but I think it lines up pretty well.
And before we make the next pick, I will say Shaggy says Rob to the Spurs might be the best spot because of Wemby.
Yeah, I think it might be Rob's best landing spot. I think
it's not the Spurs' best pick, but it's Rob's best spot for him personally.
I can't think of a better spot for Rob.
Now, I will say, before we bring in the next person, I got to do a little disclaimer here because I don't want to throw him under the bus. So Jake Neverman, friend of the show, used to be on several went from fan to patron to part of MVP, like kind of like Soapy, kind of like Tim, these guys that JD too joined the team with us. We had Tim got in, he made picks for 6. Something came up with Tim. He wasn't able to do it. So instead of Dave and I just saying, this is who Tim picked and then talk about it, Jake was like, hey, I know ball. I can step in. So the one thing I do want to say, Jake is going to come in, step in for Tim, but these are not Jake's picks. These are Tim's picks. Jake is just graciously helping us out here, and that just worked out perfectly. How we doing, Jake?
As the assistant GM in here, I have to step in and defend my GM's picks, even though I'm going to tell you I don't agree with most of them, but we're here.
I love that. Coming in the gates hard. Yeah.
Who's your GM taking at 5 with the Pistons?
Let me just say that I pushed very hard for somebody else, but our GM decided that we are going to go with Matas Buzelis at 5, even though the number 1 guy in the entire class is still there at this pick, but it's okay.
So, who's the number 1 guy? Risha Shur in your mind, or is it
Risa Shea is still there? Okay. Risa Shea is still there. It's definitely not.
I learned about this class yesterday, Rick, and you can pronounce the fucking name right.
No, it's Risha Shur sauce.
It's Risha Shea.
Sauce.
Listen, Buzelis, Pistons don't have shooting. He can't shoot the ball.
Do you think? Question. This is for everyone out there too. Is it a copyright issue or a trademark issue if we make a shirt that is a bottle of Worcestershire sauce, but it says Worcestershire sauce, but his name is spelled wrong? We gotta name.
really
We
asking.
gotta spell it so it's Worcestershire.
You're really asking the important questions here. You know.
Hey, I mean that's the first thing I thought of is a T-shirt Worcestershire sauce.
Well, you know, the Pistons fired one GM, and with this pick, they might need to fire a second one.
Shaggy saying that Jake has a ghost rider.
It's not me. It's not me.
No,
Yeah.
this was really Tim's picks. Tim sent a text that he couldn't come, so Jake's stepping in for him. So you take Zachary here, right?
I mean, it's crazy that he's a 5.
Zachary.
Bruzelis, if you want to look at the positives, if his shooting could come along, then he could be the Pistons' long-term 3.
He was once seen as the top prospect in the draft.
Yeah. Well, his quote was, if you didn't see his loser quote today, it was, "If I shot the ball better, I'd be the number 1 pick." And somebody go, "Oh yeah, so if you play better, you'd be the number 1 pick." Thanks for that one, genius. It's
okay. That hurts a little. So let me try to put myself in the whatever here. So Modest Buzelis, first off, was linked to
the Pistons.
The Pistons, based off of their front office. There happens to be familial relationship between his agent and someone in the Pistons front office.
Mm-hmm.
So there just might be a bit of a handshake. We all kind of expect something might go off there. Secondly, Modest, again, senior year of high school, shot extremely well. It's what put him on the boards for a lot of people. He looked really good in workouts against top tier players. So there's a lot to love about someone who is like a legit 6'9" player with his size and the way he plays.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was a 1-year shooting spike basically that senior year, and then he kind of came back down to earth and then some in the G League. Unfortunately, they played without a point guard, technically without a coach in my mind. It was a really bad team. It was one of the worst assembled teams I've ever seen.
It's
and
not
you
a
would
team.
think, it's hard to call it a team.
It's not a team.
They took turns ISOing the ball often.
Yes.
When you got to call up Norris Cole off the couch,
Well, listen, all right, respect Miami Heat legend Norris Cole, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Respect him.
So there were a lot of issues, but he does play very intense. He attacks the paint really well. I think he has a good frame to build off of. He's ultra skinny, but also he's added on about 15 to 20 pounds of muscle over the last, weight in general, but over the last year, basically, since he went to the G League Ignite. So he's been very much just working on the body and strength training and all of that, working with actual guys who can help build out his frame. I think he's a legit NBA 4 in a couple of years. He is that is what's tantalizing to me, because he's a double guy out there at 4, and I think that he can work inside out. I think his passing is overrated, if anything, because he makes some just horrible you think that someone who had the ball in his hands as much as senior year would carry over some, but I think he knows what the right move is, but he tries to make passes that just his team's not on the same page and are greedy. You could do 4 things in this situation, and he's gonna choose the one that's but it'd be really cool if I pulled it off, right? And I'm just dude, just take you sometimes.
I would say, taking a look at the Pistons team as a whole, the one thing they truly lack is a point guard, an actual point guard, because I know, shout out Sophie, we've talked a lot about getting Cade to play more off ball, and I think Buzelis also kind of needs that right now, especially for the first 2 to 3 years of his career. So this pick in a vacuum isn't awful, but they need to go out in free agency and get a veteran point guard that can improve both of Cade's and Matas's overall looks.
They got Sasser, Cade, and Jaden Ivey in this weird position where none of them are good enough to really be a starting point guard on a team that actually wins games. But they're also super young, so you're who we take away?
I think Ivy is the one that you could cash in on, because I just don't know long term him and Cade. I don't see it, but yeah. So that's Buzelis,
I think. Sorry, Ricky. I will let you go.
I was just going to say the biggest news is Sean says Worcestershire sauce is not trademarked, so we're in business, baby. We're in business, baby.
That's actually wild. People looking. Let's
trademark Worcestershire sauce.
I'll let you guys go from there. I'll see you in a couple picks.
Thank you, Ricky. I think
what were you going to say?
Interesting to me, because I think the Pistons, I know I talked about it a little bit before. It was the is Cade a building block?
Yeah.
Jalen Duren is the question marks around his effort. Obviously, Asar Thompson, incredible defensive player and just 100% dog out there. But will he ever get a shot together? So I think that Yeah, there's not a direct fit with Modest because he's just a big like jumbo wing out there who still has to work on his shot. So yeah, your spacing's still not going to be great, but like as far as upside goes in this class, he brings arguably like top 4 most in the class. So him going 5, I still think that's not a wild pick.
It's
the
not.
fact that Risache's on the board and they would take Modest might be a stretch for some people, but I think a lot of people see like a safe thing with Risache, and Modest has that like overwhelming amount of upside.
Well, here's the reason I don't see it as a like shock pick to me is gonna go Stephen A here, Dave. Not gonna give away our Broussard. Steve Broussard. Not gonna give away my sources here, Dave. But I have heard from a source that has connection to the Pistons front office.
Yep.
2 guys on their list. 2 guys to watch. And Modest is one of them. The other is your boy.
Cody Williams.
Yep, Cody Williams.
Yep, that's the other name
Modest
making its rounds
Cody.
this week. He's been mocked everywhere from 5 to 15. That's a wide range for a former.
The Thunder. Thunder just need to grab him.
I'm telling you, since day 0, I've been mocked.
Pair the brothers up, Dave. Pair the brothers up in OKC.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect pairing in my mind. But whatever, we'll get there when we get there. We'll see.
But now we're coming to the Hornets. The Hornets. J-Dub coming back.
Hornets have great options, honestly.
Back at you with the Charlotte Hornets.
Who you got here? Who you got for the Hornets, J-Dub?
You know, one of the toughest positions to draft is stretch 4. Not an active stretch 4. Good height, good length. Well, floor, young guy. I think you should take it and then worry about your other positions later. You know, the Charlotte Hornets taking Tijan Salam out of France.
Oh, this is insane. This is insane. This is blasphemy. We're taking the wrong Frenchman. Or are we?
Yeah, you know, but Brandon Miller's a great guy. I don't want them to compete for minutes at all. I think you supplement Brandon, you know, by someone who plays a different position.
No, I mean, different style of game, too. I mean, Tijan Salam, super exciting young player who is like, let me attack. You know, a lot to learn about the game still. But he's got crazy upside, and the way he can, I don't want to say create offense for himself, but like when he drives downhill is pretty. Right.
Didn't you say, Dave, right before we went live, that there's an injury with Saloon now?
So
or is that somebody else?
There was a rumored injury with Tijan Salam. I don't know if that's true or not because I feel like everything for this next week is just smoke screen.
Well, I'm firing our medical department. If that's come true, they're out of here.
All right.
Pack your shit, Doc. Pack your shit. You didn't read the X-rays.
Were you maybe considering Zachary Risache here, though? The fact that he is falling and you're going for...
Well, he said he didn't want Brandon Miller competing for minutes.
I know, but like... I don't know. I know there's similar games, but I think...
Said, on these pain meds, it's not my best year.
Okay.
I actually have the kid out of Tennessee over. I think they need a
Dalton,
shooter.
baby. Dalton. I love me some Dalton Connect.
Second choice.
I love it. I love that every year you're like, we don't need to hear what everybody else thinks. Consensus is consensus. You've got your own board. You've got your own approaches, and I love hearing every single year where you're
love the
from.
J-Dub board.
No, the thing is, everybody can look at the news reports and copy.
Mm-hmm.
So last year and the year before. Like for me, I challenged myself to be good. Pretty much the board, and 3 years later, when they do a redraft, how good is my draft?
Exactly.
There's no other way to judge it. There's no other way to. For me, it's not. If there's no other judgment, let me know. I would try it out.
No, you got it down, and that's I try to.
This is my 3rd year. So next year, I'll look at the redraft 2022, see how well I did.
Okay.
We will definitely keep an eye out, and I think you're right. It's one of those things that everybody wants to scream consensus, and why would you have this guy go there? I'm like, what draft has ever gone in order of most talented to least talented? Every year you see guys from the 20s, the 30s, the 50s bounce enough that it would be top 10 players. So yeah.
Ask the Boston Celtics about that.
Yeah. So
Well, you know,
people just want to be right
they had
sometimes.
they had one of the biggest draft tragedies in the history of the NBA. So
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well,
Thank you.
thank you, J-Dub. We'll see you later on in the draft. I believe your next one is the Sixers.
Oh, that's spicy.
Dave Reese's are still on the board. What do you think? This is one. So just so people know how we do it every year, is the picks are made in the sheet. I keep track of it because one of us has to.
Yeah.
One of us has to make sure that things are moving. Dave likes to go 0 dark 30. He likes the reaction. Reese's sauce is still on the board, Dave.
I'm sort of losing my mind a little bit here because, like, I understand.
So was Soapy as it was happening live.
Each thing there's an explanation for why, and I understand. Like, if again, same thing with Modest is the same thing with Tajon Saloon. His upside is perceived as higher. Well, Reese Shea is like a plug and play 3-and-D player today. People don't see him getting much better, and I think that's the thing is they look at his handle. They're like, this guy can't create for himself very well. So therefore, even though he's got great size, great defense, and a touch that has been pretty good this year, the question is, like, was it just a hot streak? Two really good hot streaks with a little bit of cold in the middle, or like how much do you want to buy into a single year of someone's play? And Tajon Saloon is very much the same. Like he's just a rocket ship of like athlete who honestly had pretty good measurables, not the best, but pretty good measurables. And he just plays loose. He plays a different style of game. And I think that going for someone like him with LaMelo offense running the ball with the offense, like I think that fits the flow of their gameplay much better than having another 3-and-D player out there. You got Brandon Miller out there already, who's a great shooter. Brandon Miller as a great shooter, and then having Saloon change up the way that teams can defend you because he can attack off the bounce. So yeah, I think that it makes their team a whole lot more dangerous from that standpoint.
Well, coming in next, we're gonna have Sam. He's back, but with the Blazers, the Portland Trail Blazers. Sam's gonna be in here with. Guess who's back? Back again. Sam is back because I almost spilled an old Dr. Pepper from earlier today when we were recording the Wrecking Crew. Sam, how's it going? Who you got the Blazers taking?
The Portland Trail Blazers will be taking Ron Holland.
Out of the G League Ignite.
Holy. Okay. So the question that we have to start with, because we wouldn't be doing it if we weren't, why not Zachary Reese-Shea to the Portland Trail Blazers? What did you like about Ron Holland?
I just felt like doing it for giggles.
I love this. I love this draft. This draft is awesome.
I can't be that mad at you right now because you still get me Houston and Reed Shepherd matching, but Ron Holland is a flawed prospect, yes. I just got done talking about the limitations of someone like Zachary Reese-Shea. But Ron Holland is someone who played on that terrible G League Ignite team. But he did go 100 miles an hour every single play, to his credit. So I think a lot of people are sleeping on him because of his poor shooting splits, again. But, I mean, I guess he plays really good defense. He tries very hard, and he's always attacking. Maybe not a primary ball handler just yet at age 18, 19, 20, but maybe he grows into it. A lot of people saw him as similar to Jaylen Brown, as that like athletic 2-guard out there for a team who's got a lot of room to grow but still very raw. But the effort's there, and if he can match even half of what Jaylen Brown has added to his game, he'll be a valuable NBA player. So it's tough because Portland needs shooting. And I want to say you're wrong here, Sam, with Zachary Reese-Shea not going to the Portland Trail Blazers and addressing that shooting on the wing. But the upside of Ron Holland, I can kind of see it.
Pat in the comments also, what up, Pat, from the Discord, says mock draft based on vibes. I dig it.
Yep.
I dig it.
Not trolling Dave at all. That's what we're doing today. Thank you, Sam.
Thank you, Sam. We'll have you back. I think the Bulls are your next pick. Well, Dave, this is the point watching live. So I got to see the reaction you're having right now. Soapy was having live, and it was like Soapy's like, Worcestershire, take Worcestershire.
I am, again,
because for those who didn't watch last year, this always happens in an MVP Discord mock. Last year was one of the Thompson brothers just fell out of the lottery. I can't remember if it was a Sara or a Men. One of them fell completely out of the lottery. And we were going crazy watching the fall happen.
I am.
How far does this fall go, Dave? That's the question.
I don't know. My hair's going. Like, I'm pulling out my hair. Like, I'm just like, I need something to fidget with. I'm getting nervous.
Also,
this is so weird.
Also, before we bring in Sean, want to shout out Lippo255 for following us on Twitch as we are live, both Twitch and YouTube. Thank you for the follow. Will Sean be your savior, Dave? Will he be the savior of your sanity?
Well, it's the Spurs. Of course they should take Risa Shea.
This would be the biggest like fall win of all time, right?
He has one chance here. Just say the name. Say the name.
Sean, are you going to be the savior of Dave's the savior of Dave's sanity here?
Who knows? But
say the name, Sean.
Last year, I was the person to pick Bauman Thompson for you. I forget where.
That's what it was. Wait, you said you picked him last year?
I picked him last year. I think I was when I went with my second pick because I had Scoot first, and then I Scoot at third, I believe it was, and then
the Blazers later
pick,
on.
And I think I had a men later. I forget.
Okay.
I forget the order, but
are you gonna do it again? Are you gonna save Dave from the insanity?
I will say, talking to J-Dub, he did not notice that Ricochet was there for.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't say it. So I will be taking Zachary Ricochet at 8.
Thank you. Thank you. Round of applause.
Sean's that guy where he waits until someone falls and goes, yeah, I'll take him.
Exactly. I think Rob Dillingham at 8 would have been a good pick, and have Ricochet at 4. Either way, you get both.
Mm-hmm.
You know what's wild?
Swap them. It's not that bad.
Stephon Castle is still on the board. And a lot of people have him as like a top 5 player in this class. So this whole thing is just changing the way that I think about what is consensus and who cares about consensus if we got vibes.
Yeah. This lineup looks really good for the Spurs. You have Rob Dillingham, Devin Vassell, Zachary Ricochet, fortunately Jeremy Sohan, and then Vic. So it's a great team. It's a very good team for the future.
Yeah, I say, and they're all under 24, 23, maybe even.
Maybe 23. Yeah, that's insane.
God bless it. Yeah, thank you, Sean, for the pick and for landing in like the perfect setting for Risa Shea to just walk in. It's comfort zone for Wemby. He's got his former teammate out there. Just perfect. Bravo again. This feels like if one at Hawks was perfect with Sar, this feels like the next. Well, no, 3.
Klingon.
No, Klingon's good.
I like Klingon. I think
Reed
the Wizards
Shepherd,
to get Klingon would be money.
Reed Shepherd
to the Rockets,
maybe happier. So I would say this is like my 3rd favorite pick, but it might eclipse second favorite pick even just because it's Risa Shea at 8, and that is blowing my mind right now. So thank you. Thank you,
Sean. We'll see. I think the Heat are your next team.
I think the Knicks are my next team.
Ooh, all the way down to the.
No,
20.
you're right. You're right here at the Heat.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you got the Heat.
You're right. I don't know. I thought there was the Knicks back to back at some point with me or somebody else. All right.
Oh, I didn't know he was going to talk, Dave. I thought we
got pieced out by Ricky.
He got shown the door. So, Dave, how relieved are you?
Very, very, because I don't know. It makes me uneasy, but at the same time, that's the whole point of this is to get us out of that like cycle
comfort zone.
Yes,
the whole like this is what the draft has been. This is who's going here. Pat says. I'm not vibing with this draft class this year. Everyone feels like I wanted Shake Shack, but I'm stuck with White Castle prospect. I like White Castle. I had it the other day.
I like White Castle too.
I will
Shake
say
Shack is better. Don't get me wrong.
Well, I will say this: I've never had Shake Shack.
Oh, it's delicious.
Never. That's the one with like the black and green, like a Shake Shack, like green in its logo. Yeah, never had it.
Yeah,
it just looks like knockoff Steak and Shake to me, or like fast food Steak and Shake.
It is so much better.
Steak and Shake. Like I'm going for the vibes. Though. I'm going for the experience at 1 a.m.
Ricky,
1,
those
2,
burgers
3.
like Five Guys quality. Like they bring it. Yeah.
I haven't had Five Guys in like 2 years.
Well, Five Guys is now like $85 for a fucking combo meal. So they get
is
what
it?
they get. No, I'm just being a child.
Okay.
They're still pretty much the same.
Well, I know In-N-Out's raising prices. Everyone's raising prices. But hey, we're not talking about that here. We're talking about a draft. What's the next team after? Let me pull up our mock here. I should know.
Utah Jazz.
No, the Grizzlies.
Oh, the Grizzlies. I'm sorry.
The Grizzlies are at 9. We got
Grizzlies are at 9.
We got the assistant GM is back.
I'm back.
This time for the Grizzlies. How you doing?
You know, I vibe with this one, so I don't hate this one.
Who you got for the Grizzlies? Well, who's your GM got for the Grizzlies?
All right, so the Nines pick the Grizzlies are going to take Dalton Connect.
Whoa,
he's got to wear number 4 though. That's the deal.
Now listen, do I think it's a little bit high and some other guys are there? Yeah, but is he a good fit for when Ja comes back and being able to play with Ja and play off ball and give them a little bit of what they missed with Dylan Brooks, but also more shooting?
Do the Grizzlies have a number 4? Is there anyone on the Grizzlies that wears 4?
I'm not sure right now. But I mean, look, after last year where they got to experiment with like Scottie Pippen Jr., Vince Williams Jr., G.G. Jackson, all getting major minutes for them.
Some good, some bad.
Yeah. Honestly, they were all pretty good. I mean, the team stunk, but they had good performances. They found out what they got at least. I think Dalton obviously is shooting, but like I don't love it. I don't feel great about it.
You don't like this pick?
I feel like they need a center.
You don't like Dalton, do you?
No, I feel like they need a center so badly, and I know Kling and Ansar are gone.
Yeah, they need a center, but there's no way you could reach right now and take one.
Zach Edey, do it.
It could be Zach Edey range.
No. Gross, disgusting, awful. Gross, disgusting, awful, horrendous.
The top 10, you would take Edey in the top 10?
I've heard.
No, not I've heard. Would you?
Yeah.
I personally no.
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. Thank you.
But I think at his worst, Dalton Connect's going to be an NBA rotation guy. Like depending on how good or how big his role is, I don't know. But his shooting and his body type is going to play in the NBA.
With the Grizzlies, though, we're also in business, boys. Jake LaRavia has 3, so he can't have it. He's got to play Dalton Connect 4.
Jake LaRavia might be.
Hey, no, he's going to be with the Grizzlies. Dalton Connect 4.
I don't know about that.
And he's also Connect's also a dog, so he'll fit right in with the Memphis mentality.
I mean, true.
I think I sold Dave.
I could see it, and look, my whole thought is just like, yes, they need shooting, and especially some of it comes up with the fact that they've been talking Luke Kennard in trade discussions. So if you're going to lose out on Luke Kennard shooting, then obviously having Dalton Connect help backfill a portion of that would be really good. And we all saw how good he could be when he gets hot. He single-handedly carried the entire offense of Tennessee on his back. Meanwhile, they carried his defensive weight and then some. So it was a fair trade.
I think I was just going to say, I think after this point in the draft, it's really him and Toppage, and then everybody else is kind of a shot in the dark. Not like that they're all bad, but we don't have a lot of high floor guys.
I disagree. I think there's a lot of upperclassmen, and I think Connect is good as an upperclassman. There's about 6 of them that are pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, but saying there's only 6 and we're at pick 10, this means not a lot. There's not a lot. And also, they need a wing, and Connect fits that, I think.
Do they need a wing?
I think they do. Again, and this is the hard part, and I'm going to get on Ricky's soapbox. This is why the draft should happen after free agency.
Thank you.
Because you can't. They need a wing now, but they easily go sign a veteran wing, and then they don't need one in the draft. But if you're going to take Silver, you make a lot of changes. Make that change.
Can I ask a question here as an assistant GM?
Yes.
Devin Carter counter proposal here because they need a backup guard. John Morant has missed time now multiple years, even when he's been not suspended. He gets hurt. He plays a style of basketball that lends itself to that. Devin Carter's a dog. He absolutely fits the heart and soul. Could you imagine him and Marcus Smart out there together?
Well, I will say, as the assistant GM, I did throw out 2 names. I threw out Tristan Da Silva and your boy because I felt like the guard might be a little bit, but I can't hate on the Connect pick. The Connect pick,
I mean, value wise, it's in the right range. I don't disagree.
Yeah.
I've just
I think those were the 3 because
Yep.
honestly, the most value guy there probably is Topic with his long-term value,
Yep.
but I don't think they need that profile, and waiting a year on him doesn't really suit them. Honestly, they don't need to take that much of a shot in the dark. There's teams that are coming because the Grizzlies are going to it's a 180, but they're going to be quite competitive in the West as soon as John Morant's back.
Well, the entire West will be competitive in the West.
Yeah,
correct. But I think the Grizzlies were so bad this year because everybody was hurt. When they get Bane back, they get Jackson, they get Ja, and they get Bane, and they get Smart back. They're going to be one of the best teams in the West again. So Connect's able to step in and play in a rotation with a team that's competing right away, I think.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you. We'll see you. I believe your next GM was the Blazers at 14. We'll see you again.
Oh, yeah. All right. Yeah, I'll be back for that.
So, Dave, before we bring in the Jazz, I got a question for you. This is coming from our YouTube chat. And I hope I'm saying this right. Guras says, how high are you guys on Juan Nunez? I think he's first-round talent. The passing is fantastic. I don't know how much of Juan Nunez you have watched. I know you're
quite a bit.
You're an overseas what's the word I'm looking for? Aficionado. Connoisseur is another one. For those of you who don't know, I'm looking at it right here. He plays out of Barca, a Spaniard. Point guard.
So
Kudos asking about Nunez. What do you think, real quick? A little diversion because he's not in this first round.
So I know that Juan's passing game, his facilitating, his playmaking, all over fantastic. The biggest concern is obviously his horrendous shooting. His free throw numbers don't give me the most hope in the world. A lot of people want to be like, oh, look at his pass. Like, could there be a path similar to like a Ricky Rubio? Like, Rubio obviously was a much more highly touted prospect. He had been a pro since he was like 14. Juan has been good and on the radar since he was 16. His international games are solid. He's a special playmaker, but he does give me concerns because of that lack of a shot and the lack of his ability to create his own offense. And I don't know the value that teams are going to place on him because of that. But what I do think is he might be a late first in this class because as a draft and stash, he's incredibly valuable. I think he's going to keep getting better. And by a team who doesn't need to bring him over right now, you let him keep playing in Europe and you let him keep building his game. I think that's the best thing for both. So I would love him as a draft and stash, like that 25 to 30 range. There's a couple teams there who probably should consider that. I would love it if like Boston at the end of the first round use their pick on him. I think he would.
But aren't they going to take Bronny and keep him hostage?
That'd be hilarious. Thanks, Bill Simmons.
Is it the Bill Simmons?
And yes, Luka was a bad shooter from 3, and he's been consistently like not a high percentage shooter, but because his volume is so insane,
he's a pure volume shooter from 3.
Yeah. False Juan Nunez has one of the highest points per possession and ISO per synergy. Honestly, that's surprising because I can't argue with advanced stats. I love advanced stats.
Dave's like, shoot, he shot an advanced stat.
No,
I
mean, it's just
with him.
It's what I watch. It's just I feel like he's someone who does not generate his own offense well, but clearly points per possession and ISO, very good player at it. But maybe it's just the percent. Maybe I'm trying to think of like how I'm working through it, and the only thing I can think of is like, hey,
sometimes the eye test doesn't see what the advanced stats tell you.
True, that's why they're advanced.
That's why they're advanced.
But yeah, that's my take on it. I don't know if he'll be a good enough shooter right now, but I think as a draft and stash, he's incredibly valuable.
Well, coming up next, we got the Jazz, and Oscar is going to be back to make that pick for the Jazz. And Shaggy there in the YouTube comments is hoping for a specific player.
Yeah, I'd say the other guy who could have gone to the Grizzlies would have also been Castle. I didn't bring him up because I think obviously he kind of mentioned the couple guys in that range, so it wasn't Jake's pick, so I don't want to put him too much on the spot.
Pat says, real quick, says that Juan Nunez, what up, Oscar? Pat says that Juan Nunez looks like Rowley from Diary of a Wimpy Kid and also looks like a 40-year-old high school freshman. That's what apparently he looks like. But
It's an interesting
Oscar,
combo.
I'm gonna ask you this before I say who you picking. Are you going to let Shaggy down in the YouTube comments? He says Utah has to pick Castle, and he's crossing his fingers. Who you taking for the Jazz?
Well, he's about to hear some of the best news he's had probably all week. Yes, it seems like a recurring theme where when we do these mock drafts, I always have someone fall to me for some odd reason.
Take it and run.
2 years ago, it's probably Suggs, but this year
Yeah.
I'm taking Castle. I don't know why he's still available.
Yep.
I probably think you need to make some decisions if you're Utah. I don't really like the idea of him kind of being in limbo. If he's going to be a lead guard, I want to have him as the lead guard day one.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not really anyone that I would see in Utah that should be an obstacle. So I'm just going to go with Castle.
No, love the pick.
Castle.
I think it's definitely gonna be a toss up to see like what Keontae George is gonna do for them. I think he's more of a combo. He had some moments where like he shined as a primary ball handler for them, but also that roster was like 18 deep. And
I think
yeah.
I think the question with Utah is you really need to declutter and you really need to start figuring out a direction. We're year 3 into this? Year 4?
I think this will be year 3. Since the Gobert and Mitchell trade.
You want to at least now maybe start to have some semblance of a direction and like identity as a team. Just start building those foundational pieces. And I feel like Stephon Castle is one of the best. With what was available, probably one of the best people you could get to go.
Totally agree. Lauri Markkanen, big decision to make with that team. Are they building around him, or is
personally,
he?
I would move him. Just he doesn't seem like he fits the timeline of anybody else. There's a lot of value there.
Jake's hoping it's to the Sixers.
I think that's the smart move to move on from him and continue the reload.
Yeah, just take advantage of it. Build around George. Build around Castle.
Yeah.
Maybe if the trade if there's a potential trade up, I doubt it because it's Ainge, but try and package some of those picks and get a guy that you really want as opposed to just hoarding and hoarding and hoarding.
I mean, they got Taylor Hendricks and Bryce Sensabaugh last year. I love Hendricks, Sensabaugh less so because he just offense
for me,
and whatever.
I don't want what happened to Hendricks to happen to Castle. I don't think this is a guy that you want to have DMPs and limited playing time. You want to fully commit from the jump into Castle and let's see what he can do.
I'm with you 100% for the Utah Jazz, and that is exactly what I would have done in that position too.
And we're going to see more from Oscar in a bit. He's got the Bulls, and then he's right back with the Thunder. Kind of like what we had with J-Dub earlier. So we will see more from you in just a little bit. Thank you.
See you guys soon.
See you soon.
I say we move right. The next pick, first off, Shaggy saying, send this draft into the NBA and call it good. Let's go. I think that's the first time we've ever gotten that for a Discord mock. Send this to the NBA. Exactly. Tell them whatever script they have is wrong. This is the script that it should be. And Sam coming in with the Bulls. Will he make RW correct? We're earlier in the draft. Sam, I'm glad you're here because I was going to read the comment. I don't know if you saw it, Sam, but RW in the YouTube chat said we weren't at the Bulls pick yet, but he can tell you that the fans don't like it. Are the fans going to like this pick for bullshit?
And the Chicago Bulls will be selecting Cody Williams.
Oh,
Dave gets his pick. Dave gets his boy, I should say. Well, you love Cody Williams.
I like Cody Williams a lot, but the fact that we're taking him one pick ahead of the Thunder, where I've mocked him mercilessly, it's a special place in my heart.
We gave you Caruso. Yeah, right here.
We're taking away your brother. We're taking your brother for that. That's great, Sam. I think it's a good pick for the Bulls. It fits what AKA Emmy have gone for every single year, which is a project wing. We love our project wings here in Chicago. And you know what? He definitely had a struggle this year. There's Cody Williams pre-injuries and Cody Williams post-injuries are two very different players. A lot of ups and downs, honestly. But you see the upside, you see the potential with him because of his brother a lot. And honestly, he was a little further ahead than his brother in some things. He's still bigger. He's longer. Not as athletic, though. That is for sure. So we'll have to wait and see what Bulls development staff can do with him. But, hey, it gives us another athletic I just said athletic wing, and I don't want to. Just another long wing with some major upside.
Yep.
Well, thank you, Sam. And Sam will be back with the, let's see, what's the next team we have for you, Sam? So it's Sam, Oscar, and then Sam back with the Kings. A little Sam Oscar
Sam
trade
sandwich.
here. A Sam Oscar sandwich. So Sam, we'll see you in a little bit after we talk to Oscar again.
Yep.
Dave.
What do you think?
Dave.
This is your team as much as mine.
So here's the thing. First off, I need to give out a thank you, as Streamlabs is telling me that we've got 2 new people following us. First off, Melvin Phillips, thank you for subscribing to us on YouTube, and ND Watts for following us on Twitch.
Thank you.
I don't hate this. I don't love it. I don't hate it. And I was going to say, YouTube chat's popping off. The chat's popping off, Dave, because RW says we hate the pick immediately. The United Center's on fire in a bad way. Pat saying, Bulls fans, please relax. RW coming in, the last time we drafted an NBA player's brother was Marquise Teague.
Oh, God.
Leaves a poor taste in my mouth because one was better than the other. I don't hate it. I don't love it. And the reason why is it all depends. What are we going to do with Patrick Williams? What's the plan? If we're drafting Cody, it's because bye-bye, Pat, we think you're going to get too much money and we don't want to pay that. That's the thing. Or
Now, we're moving on from Zach.
I will say trades were not a thing in this.
Yeah,
could have changed some things. Could have changed.
Good asterisk.
Because the Bulls could trade Zach LaVine to the Pistons, and we could be at 5.
Could be a boat. I just think that
you know how much we want one of those.
I don't think we necessarily have to move on.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's nothing wrong with having a lot of wing depth out there. I think that's honestly one of the best things to have in the NBA. As a team that played with about 7 guards on our roster for the last 3 years, I would prefer to have some size out there. And unfortunately, Cody also sucks at rebounding, so that's kind of the only bummer out of this.
Pat almost made me throw up the. He said the pessimistic Bulls fan would call that pick Chandler Hutchinson 2.0.
Oh, you take that back. You take that back right now.
That's what I'm thinking about. That.
You take that back right now.
Shaggy says, will Bulls fans even notice this pick after the Caruso trade?
Trust me, we're watching. We're always watching for reasons to hate the Chicago Bulls.
Where
That's what
would
Bulls fans do best?
And then RW says where. So I'm assuming he's talking about what Khalil Ware.
Khalil Ware, yeah,
would have been the better decision. He's the Indiana kid, right?
Yeah.
Missy's
Oregon
the Baylor
Indiana.
kid.
Correct.
I always get their schools mixed up for some reason.
Green and Green. Well, formerly Green in Khalil Ware.
Michigan
you got
State?
some. No, he was Oregon.
Oh,
Oregon.
okay.
Oregon.
A duck.
He
quack.
was kind of squeezed out. They had a starting center already, and then they brought in like 2 more centers on top. So he also had some how do I put this? Motor issues. So he moved on and had a really successful year at Indiana with only a couple of those. But let's keep on rolling.
Let's bring in Oscar for the Thunder, who might not be happy that Cody Williams is gone.
There's still someone there, though.
There is. There's a lot of people there.
There are a lot of people.
There's
there.
one person that Dave's keeping his mind on because he's Dave's favorite player.
Well,
right? He's your favorite player. He's your
in this class, yeah.
I'm not saying big board like best player. I'm saying he is your favorite player. Like Io was my favorite player.
Yep.
Dave's like, yep.
I don't think they take him though because they just traded, his comp basically.
His comp.
So. That's kind of a weird move if you were to take him here, but whatever, maybe you see something differently. There we go.
Oscar, how we doing? Welcome back so soon.
Pretty good.
Who the Thunder taking here, my man?
All right. So normally I'm a BPA guy, but I just couldn't do it. I can't see another player get drafted by the Thunder and just not play for 2 years.
Who would have that player been?
Off the BPA for me?
Yeah.
BPA
for you, because you're the GM.
BPA for me, looking just quick look. I don't think he's BPA, but I think BPA with a little bit of context of fit probably would have got Jacoby Walter, if I'm being honest.
Okay.
Just in terms of
Dave's
adding a little
happy
bit
you
of
didn't
fit.
make that pick.
But
yeah.
I picked the person that had some semblance of value, like someone in the top 5 of my big board at the time, plus actual path towards playing, and so I went with Khalil Ware.
I like it.
You were just
They
talking
needed
about him, Dave.
size.
Yeah,
Dude, they needed size, man. I think it's a good pick.
Which made the most sense. I think if you're the Thunder and you're not trading the pick away, I think you have to kind of go for fit at this point. You can't keep getting these upside guys and not having them play and just not developing them at all.
I know we didn't do trades, but if we did, would you have looked to trade this pick?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
I would have traded up and gone and get my guy.
And
or I'm trading out.
And I will say the reason I decided we were going to do trades is because we were already behind the 8 ball and thank you. I got to thank you, Oscar, because this happens because of you bringing it up. Because it completely blanked my mind. I want to get through this draft in a night. It went to take forever. So that's the only reason why I was like, no trades.
Like 3 years ago. Like 3 years ago we did it, and it took like a month for all trades to get finalized.
Yeah. And then we had
assets that they don't have anymore. It's just.
And then we had the move. We had the worst one was when we're like, yeah, we'll do live trades. We didn't even do a sheet the first time. We're like, we're just gonna do it live, and that was we learn. We live and we learn.
Yeah.
But we will see you. I think the Lakers are your next team.
Yep. See you guys soon.
I'll see you soon.
Dave, what do you like? Chloe, what you're I like how you were like his motor issues. I'm like, what are we gonna have to say when this is the next name we hear?
I mean, look, the motor issues are legit. He got clowned on by every big name, like Zach Edey, Donovan Clingan, and then you look at the tournament, like he struggled in big games. Whether that is a him thing, whether that's an Indiana offense thing, he shied away during those big games when it was getting rough for him. But as a 5-out big who has like the opportunity to space the floor for you, I definitely see the upside because that's exactly what OKC wants to play. That's their game plan. And finding another 5 who you're not getting Chet, obviously, but you're getting someone who can at least play offensively similar to Chet, which gives you that potential to have like that interchangeability that gives you roster depth. It's as best fit as you could get in this class. I really think. And he's just a rebounding vacuum. So like, hey, that team that struggled with rebounding, problem solved.
Well, coming in next, we're going to have Sam back again, this time for the Kangs. Are the Kangs going to do Kang things or are they going to do King things?
I think they're graduated Kings now. I think they are.
We putting the crown on. Sam, how we doing? I know we just talked, but I gotta do it.
Every single time.
Yep.
Who are the Kings taking here, Sam, let me see. This would be pick 13. Who are the Kings taking?
The Kings will be taking Jacoby Walter.
Okay.
I want to hear this because I know what Dave feels about Jacoby Walter.
I mean, Sam, do you have any background behind why you want Jacoby Walter for the Kings before I open up?
I just feel like they needed a shooting guard.
Okay.
And you need to unleash your analytical wrath. Go ahead.
Okay. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate the pick as always. I don't necessarily agree with it, but it's definitely on the board now. So yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Jacoby Walter and me, not best friends. We've all known this for a while. I don't like guys who suck at defense.
Worst enemies, I would say. That's how far it's gotten.
Public
enemy number 1 to Dave, Jacoby Walter?
Maybe. But look, so Jacoby Walter is an interesting and frustrating prospect at the same time because on the one end, offensively, he should be a good player. He should be a good shooter for you. He is a great person when it comes to drawing fouls, drawing contact, getting to the line. He excels at. He's one of the best in his class at doing that, especially from the perimeter. The amount of times he baits guys into fouling him for 3 free throws, just perfect. But the downside is he also is a chucker, and he's a chucker without remorse. And that just hurts me because it's like you could be just okay, Baylor's team wasn't great this year, but they had a couple really good guys, and they relied on him heavily for his scoring. So even if it wasn't his night, he'd have some really poor shooting performances out there where it felt like he had to take those shots probably. So I don't want to blame him too much for that, but the thing I do hate about his game is his defense. And his defense sucks dick. And that is just inexcusable because you got the body to play defense.
Is his defense a bunch of huck too? I was gonna put it in there at some point tonight. Huck too.
Yep. That would be accurate. That would be an accurate description, Ricky. I think that's well done. Well done. It's frustrating because he really has a lot of upside as a offensive player, and I think the Kings. It would be interesting. I know they got the promise from Malik Monk that he'll be back. So Monk has kind of moved over to being like more of a combo one guard almost, more so than the typical shooting guard he came into the league as. So I think that it wouldn't be the worst thing if they are looking to move on from like Kevin Huerter, who had a horrible year last year, in a package with maybe a Harrison Barnes, and they're trying to find a better like big wing to play next to Keegan. Like Jacoby could fit in decently well on that roster, so it's not the worst. Like it's not a bad pick.
Yeah,
it's just someone who I think there's some flaws to his game, and I think the Kings are a team who are like right on the precipice again of competing for like a run in the playoffs. They really need another guy to step up, and they had a couple disappointing performances. So it'd be interesting to see where they go. Jacoby, though, solid add to the roster.
Solid? Are you growing? Solid add? He's like, no, I'm not. Blazers coming up next. We got the assistant GM coming in. Jake coming in, and Dave, I'm just gonna say
last pick of the lottery.
This is gonna be a good pick. I feel it. This is gonna be a good pick. Assistant GM Jake, how we doing?
You said good pick, good one.
It's a good pick. It's a good pick.
No, it's not.
Do I even want to listen to this one?
It's BPA.
You'll love it.
It's BPA.
The 14th pick, the Blazers via the Warriors will go Nikola Topic.
Why is this not a good pick?
Because I don't like Nikola Topic. And Devin Carter is still on the board.
Did you shake his head?
Devin Carter is still on the board.
Devin Carter is still on the board. You got that right.
Yep. I just there are things here that I don't agree with for sure, Jake.
He's
got his hands surrender Cobra.
There's a couple things. This is just an interesting interesting mock. Nikola Topic is it's very divisive, I guess. But if the long-term vision is him and Scoot together, I'm not quite sure I buy into that vision. But it is BPA, and the Blazers are just kind of, if you have talent, we need you. But they have Ant, now they have Ant, they have Topic, and they have Scoot. So,
dude, what if you just trade? What if you just take Topic and then just let him get healthy and then you trade?
Yeah, that's probably what it is, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You're just holding them hostage basically for a year. I think I think him falling this far is crazy. I think that talent-wise, when healthy, he's better than the 14th best player in this class, just because the playmaking he provides is so valuable. Yeah. He just draws eyes, and he's always looking to kick and pass and get the best shots on offense for his teammates. So, yet there's no fit really at all. But it doesn't matter because you're the Blazers, and who gives a damn about that? I mean, you chose to bring back your coach. Message sent. We know what this year's about.
Yeah. The worst coach in the NBA returns for another year.
So yeah, I think I don't know. It's a value pick, and look, worst case scenario, you got Nikola Topic and Scoot to run an offense for you, which is pretty good. Honestly, this is.
So then it kind of leaves.
No one can shoot on that team, but outside of Anthony Simons.
I was going to say outside of Ant. I was going to say,
but he's rumored to be trade bait again for the third straight year.
And Jeremy Grant between the months of January and February.
Yeah, I don't know if he'll still.
He's got the Nikola Mirotic syndrome, but a little sooner.
Yeah.
We'll see. It's a weird team, and as a guy who was a former draft content guy helping in the front office, I should say, it's been very interesting to see how this has gone for the Blazers. I'm very curious to see what they do with these picks this year.
Yeah,
but I can't argue. Topic BPA value 14. Let's just walk away. I'm not gonna.
But Isaiah Collier is still there, so okay. No, I'll just.
Who is
Collier?
Isaiah Collier?
Yeah, I don't know how to say his last name, to be honest.
Sure.
I know how to say Ricochet, but I can't pronounce Collier.
Collier. Yeah.
But yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Enjoy.
much. Man, this is just.
You love the pick. Jake did
I
not.
do and I don't. Ricky.
Okay.
Because clearly I want him to play, but when he's healthy and on a team that doesn't suck would be
So
great.
the opposite of the Spurs, where the Spurs, it was bad for the Spurs, good for Rob Dillingham. This is good for the Blazers, bad for Topic.
Yes, that is exactly. Because this is how you end up with a guy who should average like 9 to 10 assists a game, and he'll average like 3.5 because no one can fucking make a shot. You're going to watch a whole bunch of brick builders.
Oh, well,
God.
a team that usually just finds steals coming from a guy who, one of the two that usually finds steals. Sean, welcome back with the Miami Heat.
There's a Heat culture guy on the board. Did you take him?
Who you taking?
I don't know if I did.
I don't know if you did either.
The Heat need a lot. One thing they don't need is a center. If Butler's gone, they need wings. They need a point guard, a true point guard.
Yeah, I'm listening.
You put the pressure on him.
I'm sorry. You do you.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Like I said, they need wings, so I went with Tristan Da Silva.
Okay.
Is that the guy you were thinking of?
No, it was not.
Who's the guy you were thinking of?
Devin Carter's definitely the guy I was thinking of. He's a dog.
Yeah.
Would have absolutely loved his defense out there. But I think Da Silva is honestly someone who they realistically could end up with during a normal draft as well. Floor spacing, a little bit extra passing, knocks down corner shots. Like he's a smart vet. Actually, a smart upperclassman coming into the league, vet in college. But yeah, whatever. I think it's a good pick. I do. I think he fits the team really well, identity wise and role wise, really well for them. He's a good enough defender. He kind of moves a little slow sometimes, but like he can legitimately play both sides of the ball. And like I said, his shot is just spectacular. Like that's the big thing. You're just getting someone who you have faith in, who can stay on the court and won't get run off it. So
yeah, they need someone to shoot, need 3 and D, and it's someone they need. So I think it's a decent pick. But you might be right that you're definitely right. Devin Carter's more Heat culture.
Yep,
he's probably also a better player.
But he probably won't be there in a normal draft, so I don't blame you.
In a normal draft, he probably won't be there, so I was not even thinking of him.
No, I don't blame you one bit. I think that Da Silva is a really good pick for the Heat, though. I do.
Right.
Well, thank you, Sean, and we'll see you for the Magic, I believe, are your next team.
Oh, that'll be fun. See what Kai thinks.
So,
pressure's really on that.
Devin Carter was on the board.
Falling.
I believe the next time Jake is in for he's the next one Jake has is the Cavs. Okay. I gotta ask him if this is right, but I believe last night we were watching some tape, him like making his big board like he does the day, like the week of the draft. Yeah. I believe when he was watching Devin Carter footage, he was like, "Watch, the Heat are just gonna end up with this guy." He's like, "This is a guy the Heat just end up with."
So he's been having the best workouts according to all leaks coming out.
Talking about Devin Carter, not Da Silva.
Devin Carter.
Yeah.
I think Devin Carter is going to be probably a 5 through 10 pick come draft night.
Wow.
There's a very good chance he goes top 10.
So I should put my money on it.
If there's an odds for top 10, yes, I would say Devin Carter is going top 10.
But
Ricky's going to lock that in right now.
Maybe I'm going to look at it because coming up next, J-Dub's coming in with the Sixers.
Yep.
J-Dub.
How we doing?
Back again for your Sixers. Who are they taking?
I think it's pretty easy. You got a shooter on the board. Let's go. Sixers are taking Jared McCain. Guard.
I'd like it.
I like Jared McCain a lot.
Best pure shooter in the draft class. Yeah.
Oh, man. Top three. I will only say Neck is better because he's a better scorer, and Reed and McCain.
Potentially.
That shooter would be Reed Shepherd.
Potentially.
I just like Dave's face. Like,
If we have the same top three, we're not disagreeing on much.
No. I mean, you are 100% correct there. I think that I like the fact that McCain's shot mechanics look the exact same from the start of the year to the end of the year. His 3-point shot looks the same. He finishes similar. His free throw is mechanical. Like, it just feels very by the book when you watch him. And I like the fact that I feel like we only got to see like a sliver of his game. So I feel like in a redraft, he would probably go a little bit higher. Because I personally think that he can do a little bit more than we got to see him.
If he had played more point guard, he probably would go a little higher.
Yeah, that's exactly. I think he's got some combo to him.
If Tristan da Silva from Colorado was available, easy pick, but he wasn't on the floor.
Yep, I understand. Get sniped the pick before.
He may be top 5, top 7 shooter, but he's taller, so that means for me, taller shooter is better than shorter shooter.
Yep.
I keep it simple.
Nah, I appreciate it. I have to ask the question because I've gone to the last 3 guys. Why not Devin Carter?
He was not third. He was third.
Okay.
So if McCain or da Silva were there, Carter. I think Carter would. I think with McCain, you allow Maxey to play more on ball.
Yep.
I think Carter definitely a better defender. I think if you wanted to play Maxey more on ball, you would complement him with a better shooter.
No, I can respect it.
I'm not taking much of anything away from Devin Carter at all.
Yep. Nope. Sounds good, J-Dub. Appreciate it. And I think if they walked away with someone like McCain here, like that offense clicks better because last year we saw the struggles of like when Embiid and Maxey weren't like paired together on the floor, like when you see the trade-off happen, like no offense to Kyle Lowry's old ass at this point, but like having someone like McCain be on the floor next to him would help them out immensely.
Absolutely.
So I like it. I like it a lot. Thank you very much.
And this is where we're hitting prime J-Dub territory of the draft because coming up next, he's going to be 2 picks and then the Raptors, and then 1 pick. We get him with the Pelicans. This is prime J-Dub territory. We'll see you. We'll see you soon, J-Dub. Yeah, there was like the one thing I think of is when you were talking about the Kyle Lowry. There's a reason why I've heard Jake say third quarter Sixers a lot. When Embiid and Maxey, the starters, need their rest. Third quarter Sixers was kind of a thing. But that brings up what am I looking at here? The Lakers, Oscar coming back with a little LA country. Who are the Lakers going to take? JJ Redick, now the head coach. Oscar, who's going to be JJ's newest, I want to say newest toy to work with this rotation? Don't give me that look, Dave. It's not like that.
So just with this pick, not really I'm gonna be honest, I didn't watch the Lakers that much. Don't really know what needs they have that much, but I just went for the best player available since the Lakers obviously want to be contending.
Yep.
Saw Devin Carter was there, made sense, so I took
perfect.
I'm just
feeling it.
I'll be honest. There's a part of me that was let down, but then there was a bigger part of me that was like, "Thank you for not just taking Bronny."
Yes.
Oh yeah, no, I would. I mean, I thought about it as a mean pick. I'm not gonna lie, just to see the reaction to people. But I'm not that kind of guy. I'm not a chainsaw, so I just had a
chainsaw catching strays here. He's not even here.
Oh, he's here. He's just not hearing it.
Yeah, I saw him lurking in the green room a little bit. I'll ask both of you since you're both here. When it comes draft night, are they gonna take Bronny? Is that just what it's gonna be?
At 55, probably.
Oh, at 50 and 55.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Unless the Celtics take him hostage.
I actually genuinely think there might be a little bit of hurt feelings if there's a world where the Lakers can pick him at 55 and they don't take him. I feel like there might be a little bit of rift that builds between Bronny and his dad. So
between Bronny and his dad, not between the Lakers and LeBron?
I mean, he's their GM, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I agree. Le GM is a thing. You didn't pick me, Dad.
Didn't Paul self-report? He basically said that they're running it. So
yeah,
maybe
I would be surprised if LeBron wasn't running things in that organization. But yeah, Oscar, we're gonna see you. Not too long. We got some picks, and you're back with the Suns, my man.
Nice. I mean, so far killing it. I got no complaints. All love right now.
They kind of made my job. I'm not gonna take that much credit. They kind of made my job easy.
No comment.
But it's funny. You go, why not this guy taking the pick after? Oh, why not this guy? Oh, he's taking the pick after now. The falls aren't happening as far, Dave. Also, I looked up, by the way.
Yep.
What is it? Devin. Let me see. Sean, before I get to you, I have betting things to talk about here. Devin Carter top 10 pick is minus 125. Not terrible, but you'd probably have to put a unit on it to make it worth it.
Yeah.
Like 1 unit on that, you're getting about 1 unit, you're getting 80% of your unit back if it hits.
Okay.
Or you're losing a full unit. So not the worst odds for Devin Carter top 10. But Sean, you're here with the Magic. Who you taking?
The Magic, they need pure offense. So I went pure offense. A reincarnation, not actually, of, I can't say it because we're on YouTube, but Rudy something gay. His cousin, Carlton Carrington.
Dave's boy, Bub.
Bub going off the board is a perfect fit for him in Orlando, too. You got a guard-needy team who has struck out on Markelle Fultz's reclamation tour. I love it. I think that he would slide in next to Suggs nicely.
You have Suggs with the ball. You have him off the ball. He can shoot. He can do everything.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay, pure offense. The new super over of offense.
I would enjoy that pick, especially as I don't love Orlando a lot because of obviously what they did to the Chicago Bulls. Still salty. Will never not be salty. But that team is fun. It's just fun. Paolo is incredible. Franz, great. Like the defense, what they do down there is just banger after banger. So they can afford to take someone like Bub.
Seamus.
Okay. They can afford to take someone like Bub, who isn't necessarily a lockdown defender because you have such incredible defense around him where you can just let him be offense out there for you. Like you still got Cole Anthony to run off the bench unit. I think it would go really well. Like I think that fits the team and what they're trying to do really well too. From a measurement standpoint, it checks the boxes. He's got good wingspan. Like he's just big guard. Good move.
And I was surprised. Jake was even saying, he goes, "This doesn't even look like a Dave guy." With Bub.
I like his shooting. I like his upside. I think he's got a lot to his game.
Yeah, it's all around offensively, he's a great player. Defensively, leaves a lot to be desired, but you have Jalen Suggs to pick up the slack.
Yeah, you got safety blankets left and right. Like, oh no, he got like if they switch on a Bub, like you still have to get by like Jonathan Isaac behind you. Good luck. Like
exactly.
The defense on that team is filthy.
Well, thank you, Sean. You'll be back. I believe now we got to wait. The Knicks, one of the Knicks picks, the Knicks Mavs picks is yours, as I almost screwed up our draft order by moving something. Ooh. But, yeah, we'll see you in a little bit.
Yeah, see you.
All right. A little bit of YouTube chat to catch up on. Just one. Let's see. OC saying, don't do Klingon like that, Atlanta. Don't do him like a Bennett. Trade the pick. Well, you don't have to worry because Oscar took Sar with the #1 pick. He didn't go to Atlanta.
Even though he doesn't work out for them, like I know that's the thing right now is he hasn't worked out for them officially.
Yeah,
I think you still take him, right? I think you would still take Sar even though he won't work out for your team. No, the Hawks.
Yeah. Oh, I read Rockets in the chat. That's why I said Rockets.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't care. If I think you're the best pick for me, I'm going to take you. I don't care if you didn't work out for me. OC then saying, anyone got intel on the Rockets? They're the most secretive about their workouts. and I have no clue what they're gonna do. Well, Dave, they should go Reed Shepherd. Like
Reed Shepherd seems to be everyone's picking for them. There's a small group of fans who think that they'd be better off going Klingon, and adding that to their team because they don't believe in Şengün. That's a them issue, not a me issue.
So the odds, usually the Vegas odds, kind of have a little bit of like a little sway. Reed Shepherd is -115, Klingon 250, and then Rishashir is 850. But let's be honest, Rishashir Sauce is probably going to be the number one pick. Coming up next, though, we've got the Raptors. It's going to be J-Dub coming back with the Raptors. J-Dub, what are they doing in what's the name for Toronto? Is it the O? No, it's not the O. What do they call Toronto? I don't know. What's Toronto doing? What's Toronto doing, J-Dub?
Toronto's hiding right now. They're hiding.
Toronto's hiding or hot? They're hiding.
Yeah, they got to put their tails between their legs for a little while. What's the rapper's name? L.A. who had the big concert?
Drake.
No, the one out of L.A. who would come at Drake.
Kendrick.
Oh, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. And yes.
I know way too much about that beef right now.
Dude, my sister
I've been looped in on that
about it because Taylor Swift was mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Toronto's got to be humble this week.
Mm-hmm.
But what they need, not only is a little more beef, but they need point guard.
True.
So
maybe.
Let's go with the athletic point guard. We're down in the area where we can, look at some guys who may have been a top 5 pick, thought about 6 months ago, fell. Now a little bit of a project. Has some value here. Let's go with Isaiah Collier out of USC.
All right. So
he's just coming right for you, Dave.
J-Dub, again, I respect your opinions. And respectfully, I don't like Isaiah Collier. But I think by this point, it's fine value. I think my problem with him was, him being top 15. I think here it's fine, probably. Do you have concerns?
What need does the roster have?
I think they need a 4 still. I think that I don't know. All right, here's the question, because it's Quickly is sort of a point guard sometimes. You also have Scotty Barnes, who's sort of a point guard sometimes, but he's also sometimes a wing. RJ Barrett, awesome bounce back year for him. Happy for him. I think they need a 4. Jakob Poeltl is a long-term 5. I'm not sold on, but like they re-signed Kelly Olynyk, so who knows? But I think 4 is the spot. What's up?
What fours are available?
Personally, Tyler Smith. I think his shot is pure. I like him as a floor spacer. I know defensively he's not amazing, but he's athletic. He's got good measurables. I think he's just got to figure it out. He's still just not 100% with it, like his body size and all that. But I think he's uber athlete with a great 3-point shot. They need floor spacing. I think that one kind of just for me is where I would have gone. But Collier's he's a brick shit house. He's strong. He gets in the paint and he causes damage. So I'm not opposed to it, but.
So, well, I have a bias. I don't like teams without point guards.
Fair.
It stunts everyone's development.
Yeah, I mean, Chicago Bulls, we can tell you, without a point guard for 2.5 years, it fucking sucks.
We don't have a front office either.
Yeah, we should.
Also true.
We need
also
one of those
true and
too.
accurate. Yeah. So again,
not gonna get you anywhere. 9 wings is not.
Mm-hmm.
There's only 9 wings. Only compliments a good pizza. It doesn't make a good football team.
I love that. I'm gonna steal that, by the way. I'm totally stealing
Go
that.
ahead, Ricky.
Oh,
Go ahead, Ricky.
9 wings is only a good compliment to a good pizza. We're actually yet again going to see you really soon. Jake will come in here for the Cavs, and then we'll have you right back in here for the Pels.
All right, see ya.
I really do like that.
That was good.
Good compliment to a pizza is 9 wings.
I love J-Dub for that. Yep.
Every
single time.
By the way, I looked up the 6. That's what I was looking for. 614 is their area code, so it's the 6. Is what I was looking for the. I don't know what I was thinking. The O, Orlando. No, there's something that's like the O. I know the Oregon Ducks. They do this. Or it's
Not
like
sure.
this. I think it's like this. This is 303. This is 303 all day. It was like a little bit of this was 303. But we got Jake coming in here for the Cavaliers, the assistant GM to Tim, the main GM.
Hello.
How you doing? Back. How you doing, Cleveland Cavaliers assistant GM?
I'm mad that I have to live in Cleveland. That's what I am.
You and Joakim
Noah too.
As the great Joakim Noah said, "Who the frick wants to live in Cleveland?"
Yeah.
But the Cleveland Cavaliers will select Kyle Filipowski.
Thank God. Thank God. The player I don't like can go rot in Cleveland.
I don't
understand the hatred, but
I just don't like Kyle. I just don't like Kyle Filipowski, and I don't want him drafted by the Bulls. That's for sure.
Yeah, I think the only real concern I would have is his shooting. Obviously, definitely improved in year 2, but is it going to be enough to be consistent? Because the Cavs already have enough guys who can't shoot the basketball.
Yeah.
That if I'm sitting here with this pick, if you're gonna take a wing, they need to be able to shoot, which there aren't many guys in this class who can do that.
But there's one.
Yeah.
Baylor Shireman, right there. Yeah. Put him on the court. He'll shoot. He'll rebound. Yeah. He can run offense even.
I could see the fit. Like, say they move one of Allen. I assume it'd be Allen. I know they're saying now that they're not going to, but if they move Allen, then the fit gets a little bit more. You play Mobley at the 5, Filipowski can kind of be the connector with the middle of the lineup. Maybe with Strus. Yeah, so that would make a little bit more sense. Again, it's hard to judge. I think as a value, Filipowski at 20 is probably about right. I think we're about in his range, so I can't hate the pick on that.
It's wild to think about in context because last year he was mocked 10 to 17, and he had double hip surgery and got better somehow. Yeah. And now we're saying he's mocked 20 in a worse draft. Like, is it just fit?
He
like,
got better, but he's mocked lower in a worse draft, is what you're saying.
Yeah, and that's where I'm confused. I don't. Something's wrong, right?
Yeah,
Are we overthinking it?
Maybe the double hip surgery at 20 is a little bit worrying for some teams, and maybe some teams don't have confidence in his shooting going forward. But I mean, if his shooting becomes good, he could be an NBA player. I don't know what his ceiling is really going to be. I don't think, especially on this Cavs team, I don't think he'll be like a starter or anything like that. But they need bench pieces badly. So we saw that in the playoffs. That as soon as somebody goes down or somebody comes out, the Cavs just go to absolute crap. So somebody to help him out. Who knows? Maybe Filipowski can be a little bit more of a help if they get rid of Allen.
I like it. I do like it. Like I said, there's some wings out there I prefer more, but I think Filipowski on them with that hedge of like you're moving on from Allen, then 100%.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you, Jake. And I'll tell you, Jake, you just send J-Dub right in here.
Okay, gotcha.
They'll save Dave a little bit of finger.
Yeah, understood.
Thank you.
J-Dub, we back with the Pelicans. New Orleans.
Yeah. They have a lot of wealth. They have a lot of talent on their roster. They have forward. They have a bunch of wings. They have Zion Star. You got a couple of projects playing guard. Got a sniper, my God, out of Connecticut, Hawkins.
Yep.
A stretch 5 would probably compliment Zion the greatest. Looking at where they are, it won't be bad if you get an athletic and somebody who can protect the plane, block shots, run the floor. So I'm going to guess Missy Baylor.
Yep.
I don't hate it.
Can't argue. Missy is sort of like, I'm trying to find the nice way to say it. Like, he reminds me of a raw version of like Derek Lively when it comes to his rim protection. But Missy has like this weird thing, and I don't know if JW saw it too, where you watch him face up with the ball, and I'm like 50% terrified and 50% like intrigued by this. I don't know if he should ever do that in the NBA, but the fact that he has the balls to try it, is there maybe a face up game to a little 12-footer game to Missy's game?
But be honest, it reminds me of Paul Reed out of Duquesne.
Okay.
When Paul Reed was a prospect, he wanted to face up. He wanted to play back to the basket. He wanted to play more of a wing. But he just doesn't have the coordination to him. It's great that Missy wants to play around with things, you know.
Yep.
I mean, if he accomplishes some great, you know, we're I think what 16 now. You know, if you just do the basics, rebound, run the floor, block shots
Oh, he's great at
on
that.
this team, you can get 16. He could play the role that who's the guy that they had from Texas?
Jackson Hayes.
Yep, Jackson
Yeah.
Hayes.
If you could just be a little better
knucklehead.
Jackson Hayes, I think they should be happy with that pick.
Yeah. No, I think he's an instant contributor day one. Like he is simple and it translates and his hustle translates. He runs the floor well. So speed wise with that team, yeah, I think he fits the pace of the roster. Glad you didn't overthink it.
I
He's a
mean,
good fit.
the other thing I like from it too is J-Dub, you mentioned stretch 5. Jonas Valanciunas, what's something they like to do with him? Not a lot, but like at least twice a game. Stretch him out to that 3-point line. Let him shoot a shot.
Yeah.
It's in the playbook.
In the late 10 years, you got to work on something, Lopez.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
So, why not shoot the shot? I don't expect it out of a center the first 3 years, but we're not just paying you to run the floor, block shots for 10 years. Like,
Damn
work on
right.
something. You know?
Yep.
So if you get that 5-6 years from now, great. Or even a post-up game. I think that's money.
Mm-hmm.
But for now, let's keep it simple because we got some stars. So we just need role players right now.
I absolutely love it. In the West, it's going to be loaded. J-Dub, we're gonna have you only like. I'm sad because we only get one more pick from you, but it'll be a great pick later on with the Washington Wizards.
All right, looking forward to it.
All right, thank you.
That's a great pick. Like I just like it, like you said, makes sense, and it's like my old gym teacher, Mr. Gleason, would say, "Keep it simple, stupid." That's all it is. Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, don't reach also
Mhm.
with this pick. Like it feels like, you know, if you really wanted to try to find that point guard of the future or something, like you'd be reaching at this point. There's nobody left on a lot of people's boards who would be worth drafting at 21 there. But
Yep.
Let's jump on to.
We're gonna have
one or
Oscar
two.
back. Oscar making his first to last.
Sweating.
Are you?
in
Is
this
it?
room.
Is that your room, Dave?
It's like 1,000,000,000 degrees.
I see the sweat on your
Yeah.
forehead. Oscar,
It is-
how
it
we
is rough.
doing? And who are the Suns taking at 22?
Suns are gonna be taking Zach Edey. I was a toss up between Edey and Holmes for me. It just made more sense in terms of like the way their roster is set up right now. I didn't really. I don't know. I just didn't feel like, from a PR perspective, they would survive taking Holmes.
Mm-hmm.
And so
I
feel
love
like
it.
the
I
safer
love
pick
Zach Edey.
would have been Zach Edey, so I went with Zach Edey.
You know what? He could go anywhere. It's one of those things. There is no range for Zach Edey. He is part of this draft at some point. He's inevitable, as one would say.
He's the Thanos of the draft. I'm
Yeah.
inevitable.
From what I've seen, he's like if you like him, you like him. If you hate him, I've never seen someone more polarizing.
Yep,
Like the
I'm
people
with
that
you.
there's people that think he shouldn't go even in the 50s, and there's other people that think the fact that the Hawks aren't taking him 1-1 is ridiculous.
I mean, look, to his credit, he is weirdly one of the most like conditioned 7+ footer who we've ever seen.
Mhm.
He was playing 35 minutes a night at Purdue. His athletic drills at the combine were quicker than other centers even in this draft class. So it's not a conditioning issue. It's not like the Boban situation where you're going to run him off the floor in 10 minutes because he'll just be gassed. You know, he is later to the game than a lot of kids. He didn't start playing basketball until he was a teenager. So I still think there's a lot of upside in his bag. He played with the international team or the national team for Canada. He got that extra coaching from pros. Like, I think there's a lot to like about his game. And well, I personally don't know where I would put him. If you're giving the Suns someone who can just lock down the paint for them, because let's be honest, the Suns are a team where it's like you don't need any wing help. You might go guard, but I can't imagine putting a guard into this roster, expect them to do anything in the playoffs.
I think I just missed Carrington, if I'm not mistaken, and I didn't really see. Like, I could see maybe a Tyler Kolek, but
yeah, he's the only guy who maybe. And again, would you trust him in the playoffs?
did think
I don't know.
Tyson George not really a guard, more of a wing, but just from an upside perspective, just some extra scoring off the bench.
Yep.
But I just went with Edey just to keep it safe.
No, not. He'll give you minutes out there, and plus they can run, like Kevin Durant, Bull, and Zach Edey out there, and just 3 7-footers for fun,
Yeah.
All right,
Well,
thank you very much.
Good
Oscar.
pick, Oscar. Well, just like J-Dub, it's sad, but we only get you for one more pick. You were probably, I'm going to look right here. Yeah, you were the only person, because we did picks instead of teams. Oscar's the only person that got 2 picks, same team. He's going to make both of the Jazz picks.
Nice.
I made one earlier.
Well,
I'll make the second one later.
Yeah.
I just noticed that. I'm like, whoa, he's the only one that got
Honestly,
the team's 2 picks.
that I just realized that people didn't get teams.
Yeah.
I didn't even know his picks.
The only reason I did it that way was I'm like, we only got 5 people. I want to keep it even. Everyone gets 6. And that's how.
Well, at the end of the day, I got my pick 1-1. I got my team. So.
Yep, and obviously I did that.
Yeah.
On purpose because I want you guys to be happy. But yeah, we'll get you one more time when the Jazz are up later in the draft.
All right. See you guys for the last time.
And then we've got coming up next. Let me switch it over so it doesn't look bad. So it's got that's the one thing, switching back and forth, Dave. So we don't have the 3 layer on top of us.
I will wait.
Coming up next, we got the Bucks. Sam's going to be coming in. Sam, we're getting down to his last 2 picks. That's what happens as we get closer to 30. I don't know why I'm reacting like it's big news.
Are we ready for the Sam, man?
We're ready. I think they got enough of us with the two. We got some good timing. Sam, how we doing?
Good.
Who are the Bucks taking at 23 via the Pelicans?
The Bucks will be taking I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right.
Oh.
Okay.
Daron Holmes from Dave.
Daron Holmes.
Dave, is this a Dave's boy?
This is actually a perfect pick, Sam. Like, brah, fucking no. Like, all the credit in the world to you. You absolutely nailed this one out of the park. Was it random? Was it vibes? What's the thought behind this one?
Well, I was probably going to go with Zach Edey, but
son of a bitch.
That sort of
Dave hates Zach Edey.
I don't love him.
But then I was like, you know what? They could probably use more of a shooting stretch four. So I was like, let's go with that guy.
Yeah. Absolutely nailed it. Bucks are looking. There was even a rumor that Brook Lopez might be on the block.
Might be on the
so,
block.
Yup. Which would be a massive change. Like that, he's been part of their championship core for a hot minute. So, Daron Holmes, perfect pickup. Especially someone like Bobby Portis was someone like similar, but he has better rim protection. He's a much better defensive player than Bobby was coming into the league. So I'm excited to see that. He's also added his shot, bringing in that 3-point shot this year in volume. So I think having a stretch 5 out there and Daron Holmes on the Bucks team is exactly what the doctor ordered. Help Giannis keep thriving out there and give him space to operate.
Of course, Bobby Portis the only one with the crazy eyes.
That's what makes it special. You don't fuck Bobby Portis.
That's what makes it special. But Sam, sad to say, we only got one more pick with you. We'll see you later on with your last pick for the T-Wolves. All right. Moving right along here. The Knicks coming up. Sean coming up. Sean, how we doing?
It's pretty good. Me and Tim were co-GMs on this one. Back-to-back Knicks picks.
Okay.
Love it. We got the teamwork.
We didn't really talk about it, but
Damn, I was hoping for the dream work.
No, they didn't talk about it. I was like, please say you just picked it right away. That's the best part.
Who are you going with here?
The Knicks need a lot. They need role players in every position.
Mm-hmm.
They're losing Hartenstein.
They're not losing Hartenstein. He's signing a friendly deal. He'll be back.
He's going to OKC.
We can hope.
We can hope.
But yeah, I think they need some guard help next to Brunson. They have DiVincenzo. They have Harts. You can move those over, and I went with Jalen Tyson.
That's great pick. Love that guy.
It's a Dave guy.
He's a Dave guy. Gold star.
Yeah, I'm glad. I don't know much about who Tim picked, so you can have Jake do that one.
Yeah, we'll have Jake.
All right.
We'll have Jake come in, and as I've been saying to everyone, Sean, it's sad because we only got you one more time. We'll see you one last time when the Nuggets roll around.
Yeah, then.
Yep.
All right.
But Jalen Tyson to the Knicks. Before we get going, Jake, I just wanted to let people know.
Not a known guy. He wasn't in our mock.
Yeah, he fell off the board somehow. I feel like I would have picked him, but I don't know why I didn't. Maybe I thought other value was there. But point being, I really like him. He's an athletic wing. He had 3 different roles in 3 different years, 3 different coaches. Interesting story behind it. Coaches who lied to him, coaches who were just racist to him. And eventually he found his landing place in Cal, had a great year, single-handedly carrying a team. He's a really good 2-way player, and I don't really know why he's fallen other than the fact that he's not a freshman. But it's his first year playing outside of being a tiny role player, and where he was promised more. So I get it. You're worried. Can it scale? I think it can. He's a good defender, good offensive player, good shot taker.
And that brings us to pick number 2, assistant GM of the Knicks. You took Jason Tyson. Who's the second pick going to be?
The next pick for the New York Knicks will be wing Johnny Furphy.
Pat's boy. I'm only saying Pat's boy because Furphy's from Kansas.
Yeah, I mean, who could not love an Australian with a mullet?
That's about all. There's a type.
I mean, it's a Knick pick with wings. There's another guy on the board I probably would have gone with, but I won't spoil because he's not off the board yet. So, but I don't hate the pick. To be honest, I think it's a fine pick. He's a wing. We'll see if his play can become a little bit more consistent than it was at Kansas, because he was higher rated throughout the entire year from what I've read, and he's kind of fallen off a cliff.
Yeah, so what had happened was Kevin McCullough. Kevin McCullough was like the heart and soul of that team, and he's an upperclassman, and he was shooting the ball like he's never shot before, and that offense was humming. And they got Hunter Dickinson, center, so they had 2 very good upperclassmen running the team. And Johnny Furphy was called catch and shoot and backdoor cut, and he could do both of those things excellently. Still can. The problem is McCullough got hurt, and Johnny Furphy had to dribble basketball, and we all saw that Johnny Furphy cannot dribble basketball. Small issue when you're asked to create offense for a team, and you just can't. So he got pretty blown up to end the year, unfortunately, on that. They all, I
mean, I was gonna say Tibbs has a way to extract the most value out of his wings usually. So I don't really hate the pick. I think he's definitely an NBA player at some point. I don't know how big his role is going to be or how high his ceiling is, but he definitely is. He's got the body type for it. He can shoot well enough, and he shouldn't have to self-create for most teams at the NBA level that he'll go to. Especially this, he'll go to an NBA contender most likely. So him getting to learn behind Josh Hart and Dante DiVincenzo and all those guys, maybe they can turn him into a dog.
And I think that you just tell him to follow around OG Anunoby like a shadow, and that's how you got to learn from.
That's it. That's if he's back,
I did hear some concerns about him maybe not signing that.
It said, just what they said that most likely he's going to be back, but he's going to make them bait. Like somebody else is going to go in free agency and offer him $35 million a year or something like that. So, but either way, they are wing heavy, the Knicks. So getting another wing that the player can learn behind, not the worst thing.
Okay.
And Jake,
what just happened? Are you guys good?
I'm fine. I'm sitting here listening to you guys. I was just gonna say, I've been telling this to everyone. I get to tell it to you. We'll only see you one last time, as you are Mr. Irrelevant, number 30 for the Celtics.
We're gonna start singing from Hamilton one last time.
One last, maybe.
All right, I'll be back.
So so the Knicks make their picks. I think we're down to the final. Let me see. We're down to the final pick for each person, and J-Dub's going to be first for the Wizards. Wizards via the Clippers here.
Yeah.
For a little bit of J-Dub.
Yep. All right, let's hear.
Jake, are you guys okay? Keys is in the chat. He's saying there's a type, and he's laughing.
Yeah.
J-Dub, the last time we're bringing you in. How you doing?
So
The last time I get to say how you doing to you.
I'm a wizard now. I'm doing all right.
Who are the Wizards going to take here?
We're trying to work some magic. So we got our big in the beginning. We're super hyped about that. But we still have a big hole at point guard. And I like my point guards to be tough.
Oh.
I went to school in the Big East when the Big East was the Big East. It was a beast. So tough guy, definitely you got to be able to shoot. Got to definitely run a team leader. So we're gonna go with Tyler Kolek out of Marquette.
Love it. I love Tyler Kolek.
Yeah. Ricky, you talk about Tyler Kolek. I feel like I've been talking a bunch tonight.
So the easiest thing, he's a dog, and he's someone that passing, shooting. I even say defensively, he's not an elite lockdown, but he's got all of it. And the thing J-Dub said, he's tough. He ain't gonna give up. He's a baller. He's a dog.
He's smart too. That's the big thing.
As a GM, if I'm walking to college and you're not making your team huddle at the 5-point line, and twice in the fourth quarter, if you're not doing that, I'm not drafting.
No. I'm with you, man.
I mean, they had Smart, which is a great coach. Kolek got them boys together at the foul line when it's about to do some free throws, get everybody together on point, same pace, synergy. They're out there playing ball. Let's get them together, guys. He might not be a long-term, starting guard. Definitely, he will help development. Definitely, he could plug and play. Any GM would love to have him 16, 20 minutes. Any player will love to have him. Knock down an open shot, great ball handler, get your team together. Not only knock, maybe some athleticism, maybe some height, but we're picking here at 20-something?
Yeah.
Pick it all down. Point guard, tough point guard here in the 20s, easy pick.
No, it's a great pick. Love it.
I think the cool thing is he played on one of the best and most complicated offenses in college basketball. Obviously, we all know what happened up in UConn. Champions, respect. Respect Hurley on that one. But Kolek, Oso Ighodaro, Com Jones ran one of the most efficient, complicated offenses in college basketball. So I've total trust in Kolek running a second unit, being able to play some minutes with the starters, like you mentioned, maybe not the long-term guy to be a starter, but he gives you that Tyus Jones vibe as far as I absolutely trust this guy to run a unit. He's going to be incredibly efficient. He will be tough, like you said, defensively, even though he's not the longest guy. He's not super set up to be a high-level defender, but he can get the job done, and he will fight through screens. He'll do all the little things that you want out of your point guard.
Can I get one quick plug?
Go ahead, give it.
So I'm a 90s guy, so I love Hurley. Love Hurley to death.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
Came from a great basketball family. Brother coaches ass off, father's a legend.
Yep.
Can't mention UConn basketball without giving credit to assistant coach Murray.
Oh.
Look him up.
Okay.
With the Lakers thing kind of fell through, I wouldn't be surprised if the Lakers wanted a package deal, wanted Hurley and Murray.
He was the one who installed their offense, wasn't he?
Yes.
That's okay. I was doing some podcasts listening to Dan Hurley's talk about some things offensively, and he made some mentions of his assistant taking care of some things offensively, and that I just added him up right there live.
Just look it up, and also his father is one of the funniest, one of the most popular comedians. What's really? The guy Murray? The one that goes all Lakers games. Bill Murray. That's his
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray.
Bill Murray's son.
Oh no, he is. He is because Bill Murray was at the games. Because Bill Murray was at the game. Oh, I know.
That's awesome.
Because I remember on CBS they were showing Bill Murray.
5 years from now, check out Coach Murray, what his future looks like in basketball.
All right. First. No, he's bright mind. Bright mind, I'll give you that. Appreciate the shout out. That was Yep. Been awesome, J-Dub.
Mm-hmm. I always learn something when J-Dub comes in and we talk to J-Dub. But J-Dub, you're the first one, so I get to say it. Thank you for being a part of this Discord mock, as you always are. This is your last pick. Last time I'm gonna get to talk to you. Dave's gonna get to talk to you. Just want to thank you for being a part of this, and it's been a great draft yet again.
What, 5-6 years in the making?
5-6 years. It hasn't been really that many.
I think I've been here 6 years. You guys maybe definitely longer. I think it's been year 6 for me.
Yeah, I think
I
so.
look forward to it every year.
Glad to hear it.
And it definitely won't
can't
stop.
wait to see the big board too. That's the thing. I know this week, sometime before draft night, I'm gonna need to see a big board out of you. Maybe top 10.
Big board and a mock.
Okay.
Let's go.
Yep.
Love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you, J-Dub. All right, and now we're just gonna move right along. These are the last picks.
Okay.
We're gonna bring in T-Wolves. This is Sam making his last pick. People talking about the Rockets in the chat. We already talked about Rockets are secretive. Reed Shepard went to them earlier. Sam, who are the T-Wolves taking here though? Late in the draft.
They'll be taking Tyler Smith.
Right? I don't even, like. I feel like value-wise, he's on the board. You should take him.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, Sam. He's a big stretch athlete. He's like 6'9".
You were talking about him not too long ago. You're like, oh, this team should have taken him, and now Sam gets him.
Yeah. Sam.
I thought you had the more.
I was going to ask Sam if he had any, thoughts on it.
Well,
he just feels like somebody helpful.
It was pretty much the best 4 left on the board as it's been falling. So I was like, why the hell not?
Yeah, no, I like it.
Sometimes it's that simple.
I think the interesting thing is, they can bring him along slowly if they need to, like they did with Leonard Miller last year. They'll let him just burn out in the G League, look really good. And they honestly, I'm not saying that Cat is tradable, but I'm saying that, in another year, if they struggle and someone comes up short in the playoffs yet again, Cat could be tradable. They got enough guys around there. I'm just saying.
Oh, that was a pretty good draft overall.
It was.
Yeah,
I was waiting to see if you had anything else to add, but Sam, you get the spiel yet again. Thank you for being a part of this. It was a great draft, and J-Dub mentioned it's been how many years? Sam, I gotta say, out of everyone should know this. Sam's one of the real OGs. He's been here since I think the very beginning of MVP.
Yeah.
Hey, it was pretty special. I met Sean finally a couple weeks ago.
I saw that.
Live.
I gotta ask how it happened. Was it a chance meeting? Was it like you're walking around the concourse at the cell? Yeah, I'm gonna call it the cell. Guaranteed. Old Comiskey. You're walking around Comiskey and you're like, Sean.
No, actually, I think he might have mentioned it a couple times, but
okay.
He went from the Score to Shigo Sports.
Yep.
It's like a new podcast network. I basically followed him and some other local Chicago podcasters I really like. So
okay.
It was a big group outing thing, and I was like, you know what? I can make one of these and finally see the man for himself.
Nice.
Very cool.
Sam got to meet the man in person.
Unfortunately, he had to watch the White Sox to do that,
Yeah. I've now been to 2 Sox games this year. They've lost both of them.
Yeah.
As I told everybody at the game, this is just group therapy. We're consoling each other.
Yep.
It's a Reinsdorf tradition at this point.
And I did continue my protest not buying any concessions at the game.
Okay.
So I'm fighting back.
Strong man. Stronger than I am.
Yeah, I got it. Go to a baseball game, I got to get some dogs in me, you know what I'm saying? Got to get them glizzies. But thank you, Sam, for a great mock. Can't wait to do it again next year.
Yep.
Later.
All right, Dave. Moving on. The Nuggets. Sean coming in. We're down to the final 3. Final 3 picks. Sean, how we doing?
I'm good. I got the best pick in the draft right here.
We're just going to get right to it. What's the best pick for the Nuggets?
Nuggets don't need anything specifically, so they could go reach, even though it's not a reach because he's the GOAT. LeBron James Jr. is going to the Denver Nuggets.
They're going to take Bronny, so then that way in a couple of years, they're going to get Luka, they're going to get LeBron, LeBron, exactly. And Jokic. And I see the vision.
I can't see Dave's face right now, but I'm assuming
yeah, he's disgusted.
Not thrilled. Not thrilled at all. But you know what?
I had to do something with my last pick.
Yep.
But that's the thing. The Nuggets don't really like...
They need a backup center. They need a backup center real bad.
But Edie's not
real
there, Dave.
Bad. There's no Missy. There's no Holmes. There's no Ware. There's no Klingon. There's no Sar.
What are they going to take Adam Bona?
Yeah, Dembona would probably be the guy. Hey, he gives you a lot of Robert Williams vibes. He will give you 15 minutes and all 6 fouls.
Yeah, they could sign Nerlens well for the minimum.
Yeah,
maybe that would actually be great. Actually, I would love that.
They could just do it in free agency.
Exactly.
Yep. So yeah, they got some things to address, but I think that taking the spiteful Bronny James here just to whatever the Western Conference as a whole is, I kind of applaud it. I'm a spiteful human being. I know Ricky is a spiteful human being, so I think we all can kind of.
I was gonna say maybe you read the mind of someone coming up, either Oscar or Tim, because one of them had told me that they planned on taking Bronny and that you sniped him from him a pick or two earlier.
I can say that Jake said he would have picked Bronny if he was at 30, going off of the script, firing Tim on the spot to take Bronny.
Firing Tim on the spot. But Sean, thank you for being part of this, man.
Yep.
It's been a great draft. You've been around. J-Dub started this. I'm going to ask you, when was the first time you checked out and were like, that's when you watched MVP and came a part of it?
We've talked about this before. It was LaMarcus Aldridge getting traded to the Spurs.
That was us. That was the first ever fast break.
We were so wrong.
That was before the fast break was the fast break.
Thank you for sticking with us after that dog shit podcast.
Yeah,
it was pretty fun. We came with the energy.
It was a lot more casual back then, so I watched it, and it was like, I got hooked for a long time.
So were we. I'd like to think we've all come a long way since then.
Seems like I've grown as a person.
Yeah, you're not giving yourself enough credit there, my guy.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to be a part of. Same as last year. This one I felt like was a lot less random.
I think it's the draft. I think the draft class this year is why there's not as much hostility either.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a whole bunch of mid once you get out of like.
Get out of here with the mid talk. I don't want to hear the fucking mid talk. We've been doing this for no.
We've been doing it for an hour, for 2.5 hours. I get it, Dave. But Sean, thank you, and we hope to see you next year in this draft.
Thank you.
Dave, I don't want to hear it with the mid talk.
You wait till pick 28 to bring up the mid talk.
Yes, I did.
Kill me.
Let's bring Oscar in for his last pick, the Jazz. What up, Oscar?
What up?
Who are the Jazz taking? You got 29.
In a sort of a recurring theme for this draft in my picks, I just got blessed with EPA, Kaishan George out of Miami.
Yeah. This is a guy who's been rumored to go as high as 12. Thank you. Again.
Legitimately, I think there could be an argument for him to go 10. Now, obviously not if Castle's available, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Jazz picked him up. He's got a lot of helium right now.
Yep.
So yeah, just saw him at 29. I was like, what are you doing here?
Great job.
What are you doing?
I appreciate you and the picks that you make. I think you're pretty good eye for the talent that's on the board still. Kaishan George, he is 6'8", not the quickest, but good shooter, good enough ball handler, decent passer. But yeah, a lot of upside to him because he's just young.
And I will say, looking at chat, Oscar, you made Shaggy, you're a Jazz fan, I'm assuming, made him happy twice because he just said in chat, great pick.
Yeah, no, I mean, again, keep it humble. Kind of made it easy.
Yep.
Keep it humble.
Kind of made it easy for me. So
again, he killed it.
He's giving himself too much credit. But Oscar, I will say a couple things for you going around. One, draft doesn't happen this year without you, without bringing it to our mind. Thank you for keeping us honest, keeping the tradition going.
I mean,
Go ahead.
Probably not. If I'm being honest, probably not. Especially with who I'm dealing with in my front office, I'm probably not still with basketball for you guys aren't around. So anything to keep the engagement up.
Yeah. Anything to keep the engagement up. I gotta ask because J-Dub kind of started this. So I'm gonna ask with you. Do you remember the first the video that got you into like I'm gonna subscribe to MVP?
It wasn't a video. It was you guys on Twitch.
Oh,
Twitch? Was it just a
Very
random
Twitch
podcast
thing.
on Twitch?
Actually, no. I think it was a 2016 mock, but you linked. So I didn't watch the video.
Uh-huh.
You guys had your Twitch linked, and I clicked on that.
Okay.
And if I'm gonna be honest, it was Dave and me agreeing with Dave. That's the reason. Like, okay,
see,
fine.
now that is
Dave's like, I gotta reel
Watch,
him in.
yeah. Finally, someone that like not now. We've had some,
oh yeah, we disagree.
but back then, yes, it was Dave. Left, came back. Dave had long hair, and I didn't know what was going on. You guys weren't
That's
in the
fair.
studio.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you.
R.I.P. the studio. I miss that.
Yeah.
But I do.
But yeah, it was more the fact that there was like someone that like people that because I don't know if you guys remember back then. It was really bad. Like there was there was nothing. It was just random dudes with like the worst mics
Mm-hmm.
that
Yes.
didn't even know how to pronounce anybody's name. And then
We try.
I saw a Twitch stream with
I don't know. I still
Studio
can't pronounce
and a
their
guy
names.
and a guy I kind of saw drafts the way I saw them, so I was like, well, this might be the spot for me.
No, I appreciate having a voice in Discord who is not going to just be the same thing that I am saying. Like, I need contrarians. I need someone who will say something opposite because I don't know my opinion until I challenge it. And that's the thing. I love that I can push you and you push me because I feel like we both kind of end up seeing things differently.
Mhm.
I hope for the better at the end of the day kind of thing.
Yeah,
Like,
definitely. I mean, you got some people who will rile me up, but definitely when I get into conversation with Dave, I know we're gonna actually get into the meat of the substance and not get hit with a meme. 3 posts.
I love it. Yeah, I love it. I appreciate it. And I'm glad that you're still around, and I'm glad that, like Ricky said, you pushed us to
Hopefully
make this happen.
after Thursday, I'll still be here. Who knows?
You'll be here.
You'll be here.
You'll be here. Come on. Don't do. Baseball's still here. You're a Dodger fan, right? Your team's going to win the World Series.
See, I can't even rely on that this year. The Phillies are looking like the Boston Celtics.
No, the Phillies aren't the ones you should be worried about. It's the Yankees you should be worried about.
That fraudulent team. I'm not.
That fraudulent team. Oh, well, thank you, Oscar. Thank you for being a part of this and a great draft yet again.
Anytime.
All right.
And then last I love how Oscar's a Dodger fan and the other guy coming in. I gotta ask him. I know he didn't hear it. Jake, before you make the final pick for your real GM, I got a question for you. And I don't know if this is gonna start some bad blood, but I gotta ask you. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
What is your thoughts on Oscar, who's a Dodgers fan, saying that he's more worried about the Phillies because the Yankees are a fraudulent team?
Yeah, we were actually having that debate earlier, and I told him he's an idiot. So that's about it.
I heard that, and I'm like, I gotta hear what Jake says.
To be fair, I'm always the pessimistic one, so it's okay. I don't know.
It's funny because the one thing I forgot to ask Oscar is Shaggy, the Jazz fan, said about Oscar. First off, great pick. Then said Danny Ainge Jr. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Usually.
That's great. That Danny Ainge is great at draft. I think that's Danny Ainge kills.
Some people don't like Danny Ainge, and now he's saying one more pick. Call him Danny Ainge Jr. We're going to Danny Ainge's old team. Who are we going with?
Man,
I got some insight about this pick after it's made.
Honestly, makes me barf that I have to make a Celtics pick, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Don't care what they've won or anything like that. Frick them. With the last pick, the first round Mr. Vote, the Celtics will select Ryan Dunn.
Ryan Dunn on the Celtics. I understand the hatred. I
have some insight here, though, from Tim
By the way,
himself.
just so we're clear, I was told to create chaos, and since it's the last pick somebody else. Do
you want to?
No, I would have taken Ryan Dunn.
Okay. Tim told me his original guy on the board here was Bronny, but Sean sniped him with the Nuggets.
God,
he was
Jr.
ready to take Bronny with this pick, but Sean sniped him.
I think it's I think it's right, to be honest, because it's another wing with high defensive potential that can spend a year in the G League for them and try to become not a complete net negative on offense.
You play him 4 minutes a game and you torment other teams.
Yeah,
Like,
really, yeah.
This is. I know. I'm serious. He could play.
In
I
4
heard someone
minutes?
say like he could play defense in the NBA Finals, and I was like, maybe not that far, but like he could play defense in the regular season for like situational stuff and kill teams. Like what Peyton Pritchard did for them in the finals was a flex. Like that was just like, we got a guy who just takes half-court threes with 5 seconds left. Like, that's just his jam. We can afford to do that. They could do the same thing with this guy. And, like, tonight we feel like you don't want to score points. So we're just going to put in, Ryan Dunn. He'll guard you for the next 4 minutes and just clamps. Just pure clamps. So a team that plays great defense just add in one of the best defenders to this draft class. Yeah, fuck you for that. Good pick. Good pick.
Yeah. Well,
I still think of Dem Bona.
Literally, Dave. I
Literally?
was talking to Oscar, retired guy, and I was like, literally, and I was like, maybe I should take Bona and just throw everything into chaos because, high potential is what Celtics always love.
Mm-hmm.
And there's and Bona, like, it's not everything, but there's certain categories where he's the best in the class, like, and uber athleticism. Wow. Yes. But yeah,
that man has never seen a shot that he didn't want to swat.
Ryan Dunn, you can't be mad at because if they throw Derek White, Jaylen Brown, Ryan Dunn, Porzingis, and it's just hilarious.
Yes, it's just being the champs is nice. They have such a great roster right now, and they can bring it back. They can bring it back. That's the bullshit part. So it's gonna be interesting to see what they want to add on top. And you've got another year under insert name of draft pick last year. Why can't I? I don't want to say it.
You don't know
another year of Jaden Springer.
No, Jaden Springer. I like him still, but whatever. He's limited. But the defensive wing, who has like really good upside for them, played solid in the G League.
They didn't take the only person they took last year was Julian Phillips, and they traded him. JD Davidson, is that who you're talking about?
No. Wing. He looked
that's
like he was an Alabama kid.
Yeah, they took Phillips last year.
Yeah, they didn't take him. Alabama was JD Davidson.
No.
He's from Alabama, and they drafted
Arkansas. My apologies. It was Arkansas.
They have not drafted anybody from Arkansas.
It was Anthony Black went. You guys ended up with the other wing, and then Nick Richards Jr. went to Charlotte, and then this
JD
guy
Davidson
went to
or Davidson.
2023 draft. I'm gonna look it up right now.
I'm just looking on their roster now and trying to find this player because I couldn't find him in the 2023
he has the
draft.
skin condition thing.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I don't
Jordan
remember
Walsh?
his name. Yes.
Jordan Walsh. Thank you. Yes.
The SAC drafted him.
They didn't draft him, but yeah, they have him now.
They technically drafted him.
Yeah, it was one of those where, hey, you're going to make the pick, but he's really our player.
Yes.
AKA the
They drafted Jordan Walsh. He is a really interesting prospect for them long term. Had a solid year in the G League. I think that he earned himself, ninth man on the bench.
He's got the Joshua Dobbs thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Alopecia.
Yeah. That was
Alopecia, what it's called.
Yes.
Thank you. I was blank. That's why I was blanking. I was like, I don't know what the name of it is, but I know it's a thing.
Kai coming in hot. It was the Arkansas bald guy, LOL, and then Walsh.
Thank you, Kai. Thank you so much.
Hey, Kai, get ready to gear up for that Klay Thompson contract, baby.
To the Magic?
Paul George to the Warriors and Klay Thompson to the Magic. Let's run it.
How is Paul George going
Sign
to
and trade?
Oh.
Chris Paul and Kevon Looney.
That's going to be an interesting offseason.
Yeah.
It's going to be gear up and subscribe to MVP and join the Discord if you want to be a part of this crazy offseason.
Jake, I will say, I got to give you a different thank you than anyone else because not only were you a part of the draft coming in for us, you were our green room manager today, stepping in for Soapy.
Yep.
Yeah.
On no notice. So appreciate that a lot.
Hey, you interrupted my Baldur's Gate 3 time, but it's okay.
I appreciate it.
I'll be completely honest, Jake. When Dave was like, "Ask Jake if he could do it," I'm like, "Jake ain't gonna do it. He's gonna tell me no." And then you said sure, and I was like, and Dave's like, "See, Jake knows it's for me."
Yeah.
Sometimes, okay, it wasn't for Dave. It was for Ricky.
Okay.
Because when I messaged Dave to watch prospects yesterday, he didn't answer me.
I was sleeping.
I messaged you at like 10:30, 9:30 your time.
He goes to bed at 9, 10 o'clock.
It was 10:30 my time, but yeah.
I forget how old you are sometimes.
Bro,
You don't. There's no age limit on the Discord. If you go down to the link below and join the
6 a.m.
Discord.
I have a problem.
Yeah, there is no. But
All right.
Jake, I do have one last question for you. J-Dub started this. Do you remember the first video that got you into MVP?
Yeah, I watched the first ever Spurs video.
Okay.
I was the first ever, the
So-
first
so
ever fast
you-
break video.
It was you and Sean are the ones
Just
that
so,
got in
just
on
so you
that.
know, there was. I used to tell this, but back in like 2016, during the summer before I went to college,
Uh-huh.
I worked on a driving range where I was the one who picked up the golf balls, like
Yep.
in the car, and I would download on YouTube the fast breaks.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday morning, because they usually came out on Saturdays.
Yep.
Sunday morning, I would have the fast break and I'd listen to it the entire time. Because that was back when there was no camera. It was just all the team's logos
Uh-huh.
as the
Yeah.
backdrop. So yeah.
So all you
all
had
the
to
way
do
back.
was
It's been
listen to
8
it.
years. It's been 8 years.
It's been a long time.
At all?
Yeah, you're a boomer now.
Yeah. I am.
I don't
Sorry, I'll
think-
get
I
out
don't
of
think
here.
we're-
I don't want
I
to
don't
insult anymore.
I don't think we're that old, but yeah, Dave, we're done. We
That's a
made
pretty
it
good draft.
through.
It's a pretty good draft. I'll
We
be
made
honest
we
with you.
made it through. Now the timer says we've been streaming for 2 hours and 44 minutes, but let's be honest, about 20 minutes of that was waiting for everything to go. So about, let's say 215, 220
Yeah.
is what this one was at this year. How you feel about this Discord mock draft compared to last year's?
There's definitely some fallers. None as egregious maybe as last year.
TSJ not being a first round pick, I can understand it, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah. But I mean, you got the Bronny pick out of pure spite. We all respect. So there's like +1 there, and there's some guys who maybe could go, maybe who could not go. I think overall it's pretty good though. I think a lot of teams got it right. A lot of our GMs got it right, so happy about that. But
Also,
I think
how'd
there's
you
a couple that I was just like, I still don't understand the Zachary Ricochet falling as
Soapy?
I don't.
Soapy was so angry that he was falling.
Yeah.
He was like,
That's tough.
he's like, if he gets this low, I'm just gonna tell whoever's there he's gotta take him. I'm like, no, man, that's not what this is about. That's not what this is about. I'm like all like vibed and chilled, like, yo, bro, like, dude, learn to zen, bro. Like, it's okay.
Learn to zen.
Like just the stereo, like, dude, that's not what this is about, man. Vibes only.
Sure.
How'd you feel about the first dual stream?
I'm glad we did it. We got some people watching over on Twitch, which is always nice. So yeah.
The hardest thing, Dave, the biggest hurdle is rebuilding that Twitch audience because we haven't been there for a hot minute.
True.
So building those, but YouTube popped off. I think we've had. I was looking at the viewers throughout. We got as high as like 40-ish
Nice.
viewers on the show. We sat around 20 for a while. Obviously, now we're at the end, just bantering. So it's fallen off a bit. But thank you to the
Never
13 people that are on YouTube, the 4 people that are watching us on Twitch. This NBA draft, we're going to be live both Wednesday and Thursday. Round 1,
Dave's
round
house.
2. Maybe from Dave's house. We'll see what's going on. But be there for that. We're going to have a ton of stuff coming up, especially that live stream. We'll be both here on Twitch, MVP Vids. We'll be on the YouTube. So follow, hit us up everywhere. And
Shout out Kai.
And
NFL mock draft is how he found us. Wow.
well, the
Those
NFL
were
mock
some
drafts,
interesting
those were.
ones.
That was an onside kick one? That was when, I'm trying to think, were those the ones where I was doing it single, or the ones where Mark and I were doing it? And also in Twitch chat, Lippo, who I said followed us earlier, said, GG guys, look forward to your NBA draft stuff every year. Nice to catch you on Twitch. Thank you, Lippo. And Shaggy says, I remember my first MVP video, the 2024 mock draft. So Shaggy's
shit.
new. Shaggy
Welcome.
coming in new.
Yeah.
We old new. We love everyone who watches our stuff. But that's gonna do it for Dave and I want to thank you guys for watching and listening. We'll be back this week, especially for the NBA draft. And as always, have a good day, everybody.